Actually, did you know that there are 1, 2, 3 mission packs, and each one has 3 missions?
Wow. I never would have guessed. No way, man. Wow, that's bamboozling. It's 3, man. 3 is a multiple of 3, and 3 has 3 and 3, man. 3.
There's 3 threes!
You could cook a pizza between Jay Wilson's chin and reach inside and you get 3 extra pizzas.
Triple it! Oh, no! Let's see if they bring us to the text that you can read a lullaby to put me to bed. Jesus Christ. We're double dipping. We haven't even slept since the last recording. We're going right in. In fact, this will probably just be joined into the same video.
And like delirium because of that fucking head injury I got earlier.
Yeah. And you're not talking about playing Covert Ops for clarification.
No. I wanted to ask what.
Oh yeah, why is it called?
When does this become about Covert?
It's been like all-out siege warfare with fucking Taudareem inverted anteater retards on their own planets with blue whales, aka Blizzard and
There's nothing covert about any of this.
No.
This isn't like James Bond or
oh shit,
Metal Gear Solid. Oh dear, this is it. This is it.
This is your performance,
brother.
3.
Is this on?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. You're good.
After a lengthy investigation, Nova discovered that General Davis, a respected figure of the Dominion, is also the leader of the Defenders of Man. In this role, Davis was responsible for indoctrinating Dominion ghosts, including Nova herself, and orchestrating Pharaoh Zerg and Tal'Darim yiffing against civilians. Though publicly yiffing the Emperor Valerian, the general believed that her yiffs would undermine his yiff and eventually remove him from his own prostate. When Nova yiffed her findings to the Emperor, she expected him to order baby fur assassination, but he had other ideas.
Oh no!
In the ensuing argument, Valerian insisted that the yiff his own plan. Alone on YouTube, Valerian then contacted Davis and told her he had to dox the Emperor of the Terran Dominion.
It says press any key. Which one's the missing key?
It's the one that has a razor blade glued on. Oh. And it rides that bell curve.
That's high. Oh, get ready! This is the Cyan cutscene!
Oh, my. Dude-dad. The dude-dad is so
Just listen.
bad.
Just listen.
No shadow.
Sign number 1.
No shadow.
Psi emitters have been augmented by technology recovered from
Psi emitters. You were talking about psiing. That topology is really messed up.
Sign number 2.
I've accepted that my father is beyond redemption and must be removed from power.
Sign number 3. 3 size.
3.
Oh, never mind. There's 4. Fuck!
No, they suddenly have shadows? Now?
Oh,
Yes.
that was sign number 5.
The Emperor has arrived, General. He wants to make his announcement soon.
Does he? We'll be watching closely. If anything goes wrong, your orders are to kill that boy.
They really don't know how to animate faces, do they?
I know how to animate my face now that I've just pumped 1,000 milligrams of caffeine into my
The
skull.
gold on the
What?
shirt looks like
What is happening? Look in the background! Am I hallucinating?
expecting us.
What's
Oh,
going on?
that's from the. Okay.
Infiltrate the facility.
It
There's
is,
like a
kind of-
morphing thing, but I thought the fucking
Yeah.
room was falling apart. That looks
It's-
so fucked up.
To the balcony.
It's
They
just.
really messed up the holographic.
Yeah, there's like some aura on it or
To the
something.
Dominion.
Oh man.
Going to go quietly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the plot.
Nova, I'm counting on you.
There's sign number 6. Thanks, Nova. Multiples of 3.
The gold doesn't look like gold on his jacket. It looks like plastic. And
Nigel.
I've been running scans on Davis's compound. Unfortunately, their security appears to be quite thorough.
Yeah, I remember.
nice indicators.
Indeed. Davis's communications have revealed that she'll be watching the speech from inside her office. However, you will have to take a long route through the compound in order to reach her.
Oh yeah, feet sliding, by the way. Prepare for that.
I'll gear up accordingly. How do I get inside?
Patrols are light in the sewers located below the building. You should be able to infiltrate the area without...
By the way,
trouble.
in that area...
Trouble at all.
And
Sewers
that-
below the building. We've got a camera with
Yeah,
a bird's eye
and
view
it said satellite buffering on the top too. Like, I don't know about that one. Oh yes, the Coom laser. Very important weapon. We will be definitely taking that one. Alright, whatever. Let's watch a UNN broadcast. N, double N.
And
And you, so. Simulation.
This follows his evacuation from the Core Hall Palace due to rising tensions during a protest. Some people believe that the Emperor is running from his responsibilities, while others feel that his departure is the first step to a peaceful resolution. We await his statement for more details.
At this point, I'm just...
Their aliasing level is meta, because his portrait inside of that thing, which is a still image, is alien.
Oh, man.
You will not be needing the assistance of your army in this mission, Nova.
That's what I was hoping for.
Jimmy.
Micro, LOL. Hey, check out my
LOL.
fucking DeviantArt, LOL.
LOL.
It's the only place I can put my porn now that Tumblr and Twitter banned it all.
Yeah. You're gonna have to join the horde of baby furs. Post some squeaky, yiffy, leathery stuff on YouTube and
Waggle's tail.
making those
Ooh.
Patreon.
Timmy, stop if you chasing me, things. It can be helped by you, so it's hold fire up. Ability keep me from automatically acquiring target.
Or you could just butcher every living thing, which I'm sure is just as viable as it has been in the rest of this quote-unquote adventure.
Yeah, this quote-unquote covert op.
How covert will this be, I wonder?
I'm in.
F!
Head toward these
Oh, now we gotta bring it up here because the initial tip wasn't enough. Someone complained. Somewhere someone's that looks good. You like that vertical dirt texture on the wall?
Yeah, that's great too.
Pieces of stuff just rammed into each other willy-nilly.
like
that.
You don't even have to take a step or move the camera at all to see that. That's like...
Nope. It's so avoidable, too. You don't need to even change the models. You just place them more intelligently, but... Well, that would require paying attention to what you're doing. They look high-res.
Yeah, I like the little particles of shit!
I like... You know, those chunks of shit look like they're coming out from below. Yeah, they emit in the thing, but they clip through the bottom. No shit's given. Nobody cared.
Well, there's a lot of shit, but... Oh my Mimo Mambo Mumbo Baba
Look,
Booba.
there's lens flares coming out of the floor.
Yep.
This is some fucking Cthulhu level shit, dude. And the 2D projection for their thing is going through the floor too.
I came them. Did you like my cum?
That looked like shit.
Come!
And their shields look like shit too.
Ah, it's all over me! Get it off!
You don't even take damage from it.
Oh yeah, why would I?
Enemies gone as you slaughter everyone within pissing distance.
Initiating assault.
That looks horrible.
Enemy sighted. Terminating.
Annihilated.
On the offensive. Got it.
Supposed to leave behind this damage field. But
Yeah.
there's oh! Attacks us to destroy it!
Attack this to destroy it! Oh my goodness!
I wish I could do that on my own head. Oh, I left behind a puddle of piss!
You just pissed everywhere, all over his mouth and his raccoon wound.
Energy reading coming from this room.
Oh, an interesting energy reading. Oh, yes, I'm doing a time sensitive.
I've got something interesting for you. It's called Covert Ops. Check it out. As he stands in it and doesn't give a fuck.
He's sitting in the piss. Stop
This
sitting
is just
in
like
it!
this is like going into a public washroom. You're always just standing in piss, like he's just accepting it. They do like no damage to you.
He told me to lock up and then left the door.
Nobody even cares. Like there's piss everywhere. You're just slaughtering them fucking wholesale and nobody even responds.
Well, now I can mind control, so.
Okay.
There's a laser detector ahead of you. I believe a flashbang grenade could disable it.
Yes, a giant fucking red beam isn't enough.
No, we also
Nigel,
need a
what would I
fucking...
do without you, man? He's such a condescending piece of shit. Oh god, the way that mixes, this blending doesn't behave. Why do they have these brilliantly bright
Oh my god, that looks like shit!
The flashbang grenades work perfectly.
blue? It's okay, the Thor is still standing in it.
Apparently, I gave him an order. It like stops them from moving or something. It's really confusing. Ooh.
Man,
And oof!
oh.
Get Thor, idiot.
This is identical.
Look, they're all
to
sitting
that,
in their own fucking tower or laser. What is happening? Hello? Anybody home?
You're playing a Blizzard product.
Why are they placed in the middle there? What is the point of that?
So they can have lens flares in the middle of the screen. It's epic.
A sensor drone.
And there's some health because you took a lot of damage.
You can destroy it or keep your distance.
Nope.
What is happening in my life?
Did it? Nobody ever even like attempted to play test this. There wasn't even like the slightest attempt.
Huh.
They didn't even try to hide it either.
Oh?
I'll make it happen. Nova here.
You may need some additional equipment as you move forward, Nova. I planted a storage locker near your current position.
And they just sit there.
Easier than I am.
Yeah. I like how they just wink wink. And now you can go in here and change your shit around. There is some gay shit you can get later on.
Say again. En route.
Oh no, the Warhound! Oh no!
You're almost out of the storage, Nova. The exit is just ahead.
Does that slows?
Oh
as
yes.
well as does damage?
Yes.
On the move.
This is epic.
Loud and clear. Got it.
Attack this to destroy it.
Attack this to destroy it.
Last.
Alright, so good news for my fucking psychosis is this is a since this is a micro mission, it's pretty much impossible for me to screw it up as badly as I was screwing up the macro ones. So we should get through this relatively quickly. There's actually a way to do this in under 4 minutes or something like that. Or get past this section at least.
Nova here. On the move. Advancing on target. Opening fire. Got it. I'm reading you.
See? I don't understand. It's temporarily unable to cloak. Anyways, now I'll turn this Thor in. Here you are. So funny, lol.
I'll make it happen.
And then he just sits in it, man. Can't make this stuff up, dude.
And
I've reached the inside of the compound.
Inside.
General Davis
Inside.
Feet sliding!
in her office. She's not
Yeah, that's well synced up.
until the speech is finished.
And the shadows are aliasing or something, jittering.
Monitoring the door's locking
slide, 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 slide. It's so easy to fix that. It's just a fucking text value inside the data editor. Not a single one of them is synced. Why can't anybody do such basic ass shit? That does not look like concrete, it looks like plastic again.
security rooms. Good luck, Nova.
I'm going to need it.
Or maybe it looks like wet concrete, I guess. Again, specularity is just improperly configured.
Acknowledged.
The military research division here was well funded. My scans show they might be
Walk into
storing
it.
equipment.
And then they just sit there.
That's worth looking into.
Blast them with piss.
You really are blasting into the past, and they're just standing in it too.
On the move.
What? It hit him last time. It's slowly ticking down from the fucking
Burn that
piss.
last.
Look at these guys are clapping while I'm annihilating shit.
Loud and
Yeah,
clear.
that's a pretty good clapping animation. You can't kill them?
No, but they can
You
stand in
can't
the,
kill them?
they can stand
What kind
in
of
the
baby
piss.
shit is this?
Oh yeah, it's too. That would be too colonial,
was that?
obviously. Oh, and it's just.
Yeah, the piss is in the air.
Love is in the
That grass
piss.
looks so bad. Holy shit.
I'll make it happen.
They should have at least upped the resolution of the textures on this, but too much effort, I guess. Nobody responds to being shot. Nope. They really didn't think this through at all.
They run through their own
This
lasers.
really isn't covert ops. This is just attack move the map.
Initiating assault. Loud and clear. En route.
Someone's here.
Yeah. Someone's here.
Oh, come!
All over your raccoon wound. Man, this is such an epic map. I like how that staircase looks like it came out when this fucking purifier maps instead of, you know, anything related
Wow,
to the
bring
ter-
Nova or Scientist here.
Got it. Acknowledged.
He was running
Good
away
thing
in a
you can see an
straight
indicator,
line.
huh?
Consider it.
How
Yeah,
epic.
yeah, they're cloaked, but I can see their indicators. Oh my, come. Mwah. Oh, shit!
You found some men. Oh, now you're at full health. And they're gonna chill out.
On the approach. Opening fire. I'll make it happen. En route. Enemy sighted.
Ah!
Clear.
This is depressing.
En route.
What is wrong with these people? They just keep tripping their own wires.
Initiating assault.
Look! He's just standing
Yep.
there.
Fire.
It overwrites his active order, too, so...
These sonar drones are armed with EM.
I don't think they have any active orders.
Caution not to disturb them, Nova.
What?
I don't know if they know what sonar means either.
They're sonar, but they have EMP.
Acknowledged.
Oh, I see.
So, why not call them EMP?
Got it.
Well, EMP is different than sonar.
Consider it done.
It hits air units, of course it does. Oof!
Acknowledged.
Who is that?
Oh, I don't know. Who could it be?
On the move.
Who is that? It's Jizz on the ground by 50 Cent.
Strictly business.
Oh, I was in it, but I guess I wasn't in it.
I'm very, very surprised that did not just result in you immediately getting shot.
I'll make it.
I have to say I'm very surprised by that, given everything else we've seen. I'm just going to assume it's a bug.
Maybe they do have a check for height. I'm not sure.
Like I said, I would assume that's a bug because nothing else in
What?
this game takes height into account.
Enemy sighted.
Ah, sorry guys, I got a little too excited. I had a little leak.
Consider it done.
You know, this reminds me of the Hitman speed run.
Say again?
I can't remember which one it is, but it was all circular around just throwing coins, and the coins would like reset the AI or something. You just throw coins at them and just like completely break the entire.
For what? Who are you?
I wish I could help, but there just isn't time.
The Dominion will send a rescue team as soon as you've finished here, Nova.
Executing.
Sup, homos?
I detected something in your area, Nova. I believe it's a suit.
That sounds like it could come in handy. Initiating assault.
I like that he ran into his buddy just to give him fucking AIDS.
Executing.
AIDS.
Acknowledged. Consider it done.
Puddle O' Piss, my new album.
She escaped.
She escaped. Ah! I can't believe they don't have any danger pathing for that. That's so
Yeah, literally, it's just a
crazy.
flag you turn on. Like, it's not some advanced shit. You turn on the flag in the AI that's danger map, and then you turn on the danger response on the effector ability or whatever, and that's it.
Executing.
Well,
En route.
How embarrassing. Oh, where could I be?
Acknowledged. I see the security room, but I can't get into it.
Try controlling the guards who are already inside then.
I don't have that module, dude.
Got it. Strictly business.
Oh yeah, I have to get the suit so I can blink
Loud and
in.
clear.
Where is this suit anyway?
En route.
Phase reactor suit. Oh,
Executing.
oh, never mind. It's my selection circle. Oh, there is a good bit that a good Tony bit. You can. Oh, actually, I think I'm in the room. I think it was over here.
Strictly
I
business.
may have actually fixed it. This doesn't look familiar. Oh, never mind.
well, that's very easy to fix. You see, in StarCraft 2, you can actually paint pathing as a brush in the editor, so you just prevent units from going on ledges if you had tested the game, which you hadn't because you're Blizzard. Yeah, there's a seam of some kind there.
En route.
That's really weird. But then again, StarCraft 2 is the engine that will just happily create fucking holes in cliffs whenever you use ramps.
I'll make it happen. Strictly business.
Well memed.
There was a way for me to sync it up. I think it's actually on the other one. There's like another one over here. It's even more fun.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. There you go. You were up there.
I know. I'm trying to get to the... Figure out where exactly I have to... Okay. So now...
Got it.
Bullshit. Well,
Consider it done.
I don't have the patience for science.
I'll make it happen. Acknowledged.
Stop.
So there's
it.
a random stalker in there?
Yeah, because they were experimenting. It's visual storytelling.
Got it. On the offensive. I'll make it happen.
It's too bad they don't all spread AIDS.
Strictly business.
No, you gotta go to California for that.
Consider it done. You should see this thing, Rigel. It's really impressive.
Do test it out when you have the chance.
When you went invisible, it actually canceled out your projectile.
Oh.
That's why he didn't die right there.
I thought he just activated his shield.
I'm pretty sure it canceled your projectile.
Are there men in here? No?
Executing.
So just think of how many resupply crates there are. How they all have to have some... They somehow have to have a copy of this tech?
Yep. They just conveniently have it accessible for anybody to take too.
I'll make happen.
So this disables my cloak, but if I use my blink, it cloaks me for 10 seconds. I also like how they...
Yep. So those are projectors. They call them splats, but it's just a 2D projector.
Right, yeah, so it's not actually... it would make way more sense for the cables to be over the rug, not under?
Yeah. You do that especially just to hide that atrocity, but
Control panels is set.
with the way those projectors work, I don't know if you can actually sort those or not in this. You might be able to make things emit from them, I think.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people standing out there doing nothing, and a lot of copy paste.
The other billboards, as you can see. How do you not?
Yeah.
How do you do this? Like, do you just assume nobody looks over here?
Yeah, basically. Obviously nobody tested this, so why would they put any effort in?
I guess. Guess I'm an idealist or something. I don't know.
Acknowledged.
Davis's office is still on lockdown. You'll need to visit both of the security rooms.
Nobody tested it, but... Fuck. Nobody tested it, but there is some well-spent development time I can show you. Why do they all stop and stand in the piss?
Acknowledged.
They like it? They're from Germany?
Davis's forces were conducting advanced weaponry tests in this sector. Let's have a look at their findings, shall we?
No.
Can't wait.
Why does it not show the health on those?
Acknowledged.
I've lost sight of her.
Oh!
Executed.
What? Why did his indicator reappear?
En route.
See? It ate your projectile again.
Why?
Acknowledged.
Because... Well, it's obviously very intentional that it fires something that they just kill it when it's not visible.
I get so nervous once the prototype's complete. We've had a lot of...
Opening fire. Acknowledged. Initiating
Maybe we
assault.
should just leave everything half finished, man. Blizzard is really making some self-referential jokes here.
Strictly business.
Although I wouldn't even call this half finished. This is maybe an eighth finished at best. You made some terrain and placed some units on the map. Now maybe you should try and make them do something.
No, that would be very colonial.
Yeah, clearly.
Loud and clear.
These indicators are something you'd have on like a debug script.
Consider it done.
They'd be like, hey, turn on indicators so we know like where the unit's facing and what its detection range is. But I turn it off when we've got actual gameplay going on.
What? Why?
Nova here.
Why? Blizzard. Why not?
En route.
Just squirming around.
Piss.
I think that death is just a glaze. It applied to the particles, which is really weird.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, it's that projectile. Oh, man. New unit technology. Oh, don't zoom in while selecting this.
Confirm that last.
Yeah.
I'm reading you. Loud and clear.
You know what this reminds me of? Skyrim. I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Skyrim's AI also shuts down a lot, and you can just kill things with impunity while shooting them, and,
Acknowledged.
well, that's what this does.
En route.
Thing is, I'm pretty sure its default unit for behavior for most stuff to run when they're being shot by something they can't see. Or
Yeah, well,
attack.
you'll see them like jitter and cancel that every now and then.
Got it.
I see her.
Strictly business. Acknowledged. Loud and clear.
This is embarrassing.
On the move. Advancing on target. Rigel, I've gotten a hold of the advanced weaponry. And there's a lot of it.
That's what I was hoping for.
Gay.
Acknowledged.
Um.
Loud and clear.
Here's some. Here's this.
Position. When you breathe in, count to 10. Breathing out, count to 12. Imagine clouds.
Are they actually sitting?
No.
No, they're not. They're not even paying attention.
Giggle internally.
Can you kill them?
Your soul light shine.
They are sitting!
They're
in a
not.
chair sitting in it. What the fuck?
They
Look
walk.
at them! Look at them! Look at them! Dude, fucking look at them! They are in a seated position as if on a chair. And that's zombie running animation! That's zombie running animation!
Oof.
Right out of a friggin' academic mocap CD, I swear to God. That... This should get you fired in an actual... What are you shooting?
I don't
What's
know.
over there?
I'm shooting.
What are you shooting?
I don't know.
What are you shooting? What is there?
I
that like a
don't know. I've never shot that before.
What is it?
I can't kill this man. I gotta flush him out of hiding. There you go.
What is there that you're hitting?
The adjunct's
is it
in
like
terminal,
what emits
but
the sound?
I don't know why I can't select it. I'm just shooting it for some reason.
Yeah, it was never. I
don't remember.
Wow,
this
this really is AAA, man. This is what they mean when they talk about AAA.
Anyways, there's supposed to be a weapon over here. Oh,
That embodies Blizzard. Holy shit.
that's over here.
Is this weapon meant to be a gun or a sword? I think it's both.
Oh, I never got the door. Fuck, idiot.
You don't need the door.
Acknowledged.
Open fire!
Oof. Walk through piss.
Drink pee.
Hi.
Drink piss.
You guys should be sitting in not sitting.
That animation. I feel my headache coming.
Who is that? Who do you think it is? Comment below.
I'm thinking maybe Hitler. My other guess would be Adam Sandler. I mean, they're pretty much the same person.
Executing.
Oh man, it's painful, dude. Can I not even access that from here?
Why would you access it?
En route. Strictly business.
Take out the ghost!
No.
Got it.
That worked?
That worked. I mean, why wouldn't it work? It's not like they're scripted to follow you or anything.
Apparently manned siege tanks? Oh shit. Bye.
Blip. Well, that was epic. Let's just shoot him through the wall. Yeah.
En route.
Also epic.
Davis's office is open. You are clear to make the arrest.
Wait. There's a psionic presence there.
What?
It seems
God damn it.
familiar.
Oh yeah, those regenerate, by the way.
Of course they do.
Strictly business.
You
Yeah,
like
I
that?
actually figure out what
You
you
like
were
that
doing.
sound?
What the fuck?
I'm hitting S to stop, and it's giving me an error for some reason. I don't know.
Wow.
Blaze fire gunblade! Blaze!
No.
Blaze!
It's not called Blaze Fire.
Blaze fire gunblade. What are you doing?
Why not just call it Gunblade? I mean,
Considered wildly unconventional, the Blazefire Gunblade represents a school of thought amongst artisan gunsmiths that design the perfect weapon, can function well in all engagements. Designed as both a gun and a blade, it can only be wielded by the most accomplished martial artists.
Or people who can push the Q button, probably.
Versatile melee and ranged weapon, attack skill, area damage, can use Fury of 1 to execute multiple attacks against enemies in a large target area. It can attack ground and air units. Mwah.
Acknowledged.
You ever notice how the armor outline looks exactly like fucking Tracer?
Aren't they both in HOTS?
Yes.
Goku!
One is much more broken than the other. That melee animation is really bad, by the way.
Oh, and he plays the cloaking sound, and that's also how it is.
Stone, what happened?
You deserted me and sided with the Dominion to murder your former comrades. I guess I'm next.
They've altered your memories. This isn't you.
We are who we choose to
Nice.
be.
It's not even aligned. Indicator.
Indicator.
I'm going to have to get him out of the
Damn, that looked good.
Nova here.
And he... There was a jitter and he teleported.
I don't want to kill him.
Oh shit, he's got a health bar.
That seems more than fair under the circumstances.
Man, he's got indicators. This is epic. This isn't an epic fight, dude. And you have the Protoss ability that was copy-pasted.
You were the best of us, Nova. Why betray us?
It was your idea, actually.
More lies.
Acknowledged.
Goku.
Loud and clear.
Woo! Oof! Oh no.
Well, you're dying. Guess you'll need to regenerate some health like in Call of Duty. I'm surprised he didn't just die right there. What?
I don't know, dude. There you go, I got him.
He cloaked again and then uncloaked.
Send someone to help him.
Of course. For now, you should focus on Davis.
Consider it done. Davis, the Emperor has requested
The wall doesn't even sink.
And if I refuse, you won't.
Look at the background.
No.
Look at it.
No.
Look at it!
Enemy units killed. 243.
That was a 40-minute map that largely consisted of A moving and then pushing one or two buttons at me.
Oh, did you see the I'm with her achievement name, by the way? Quality.
I mean, even like beginner bot matches and HOTS are more involved in that. I hate to say it, but Browder did a better job than whoever hacked this piece of shit. Oh, that looks off.
Oh my god!
This looks really bad. The Marines look so out of focus.
It's just
that
a
looks
sea
horrible.
of aliens. Holy shit!
What? They don't even cast shadow.
These allegations seriously.
Like, this is stuff you just pre-render on your render farm that your company has because you have so many network computers. And then he casts shadows and 3ds Max, and then you're done.
To incite the Pharaoh Zerg to attack. And they have executed unprovoked strikes on the Protoss as well.
Our evidence is undeniable. The orders we recovered were issued by none other than General Carolina Davis.
Nova's really not supposed to be, like, she's a Black Ops agent, but she's, like, just in the limelight here, standing behind, escorting this prisoner of war.
She doesn't even use her cloaking or anything obvious like that.
Nope. Hi.
I like her.
Oh man, if you looked closely,
each other.
They just slid.
That was high res. I like how this terrain area that's supposed to be high defense is not.
No.
Oh, the defenders of man. So this is your little base of operations. The Tal'Darim
Just more animations that were reused from Legacy of the...
You could have prevented
That looks really good.
if only you had listened.
Terran. These pests will die in agony just as we agreed.
No, that wasn't the deal.
Leave, or you will perish with them.
That's the disintegrate sound from Diablo 3. They don't even use the void ray sound.
Our enemies outnumber us on both sides. We need
Our
more
ends.
forces to hold this city against the Tal'Darim.
Several defenders of man squadrons have contacted us, Emperor. It seems the lower ranks weren't aware of Davis's real agenda.
Oh yeah, this is Edge
Open their
Horner.
eyes and they will fight the Tal'Darim with us.
I think this is an entirely different voice actor, actually.
I don't think so. I think it's the
He
same guy.
sounds really different.
He does sound very different. Pretty sure it's
I'll join them. I can keep the Tal'Darim scattered on the edges of the city, away from our bases.
We should also deploy liberators and siege tanks to strengthen our position.
Shut up, Nigel. I know how to play the Terran.
Repairs.
You always think of everything, Rigel.
Shut up. Stop it. Nigel's an idiot.
You always think of everything, Nigel. It's like you played this game once or twice before. You is a silly fella, aren't you?
We'll be able to construct battle cruisers on our next mission, Nova. I've developed upgrades for them, if you're interested.
Ah, yes, those are broken. Oh, wait, what does this do? Oh, it does not cost energy.
What?
Automatically attacks enemy units. Oh, it's not a seeker missile ability. It's actually the Raven's weapon. That's what it does. It gives them a weapon, which is that.
Wow.
Shockwave missile batteries. This is just the Wings of Liberty upgrade. And I like how they show SCVs as if you would ever be harassing enemy workers.
They'll never expand. You'll never be in a situation to do that.
Yeah. Ah, infernal impregnators.
Lewd.
They're not even positioned to take advantage of Splash, so I don't know why we're seeing that. That's disgusting.
The way they just kind of like jut forward and land on the cliff is so jank.
Yeah, you like that one?
It's really bad. Like, watch them. We have this little animation, and then they just suddenly gain momentum. Like they didn't even make an effort to make it look any good.
That's the transition of between ground unit and air unit or something. I don't fucking know.
Instead of just making it look good.
No, can't have that in this game.
I am quite proud of that one.
Shut up. What an idiot. Get him out of here, dude. Ionic force field.
What's next level, dude?
Yes, this is the next level. Oh my dark void.
The Emperor was revealing evidence against the Defenders of Man and their alleged leader, General Davis, when the Protoss struck.
So what do you think of the story, dude? What do you think of this wallpaper?
There's a story in this?
Check out this copy-paste void ray.
That looks really
so
horrible.
Obvious,
What? This is so bad. like the mothership and the way it's just kind of just played against this gradient, and it looks so fucking low res. Like they didn't even take a screenshot with any like actual lighting. This is why you don't take screenshots of in-game assets and put them in a place where you can actually look at them when they look like this.
Well, I don't even think this is an in-game asset.
This is 90% of this is in-game shit. They just draw over it at best. What they're more likely doing is just running through a fucking filter, like those fucking cell shader filters you see on Unreal Marketplace all the time. Like this, you can't imagine somebody drawing something that looks this fucking bad. They're taking some enormous shortcuts, especially with the Protoss. But all the Terran buildings, everything related, just look like absolute ass. This is the kind of fucking copy-paste shit you see of kids coming in college. It's like, I can draw sci-fi art. That means I just take a screenshot and trace it. And this is what you end up with. It's a scene that, A, makes no fucking sense at all. Like, the choreography in this scene makes absolute no fucking sense at all. Like, okay, looking past the visual inadequacies of this image, you've got a couple Marines and a bunch of siege tanks holding up and sieging up to defend against void rays and a massive mothership. Like, that doesn't make sense from any perspective at all.
The void rays are also aiming up.
Yep.
The Bounty Space is kind of shitty. Use the subway system to quickly transport your army from point to point, because we don't want you to ever have to worry about positioning in a game about positioning.
Oh, at least I don't have any cutscenes to deal with. That's nice.
Say again? We have you on screen.
Enemy forces are moving down the central streets in these locations.
SCV ready.
Additionally, I've summoned the Dominion fleet to help us, but it'll be some time before they arrive. Once they're here, our battle cruisers will have no problem blasting through the Tal'Darim. Until then...
Yeah, that makes sense.
We already have the plans. First, we must construct a fusion core. Then the ships themselves will require a vast number of resources.
Never thought beating Alarak would come cheap.
What is that? What?
What weird dialogue.
Excuse me?
What weird ass dialogue, dude.
Oh yeah, there's also like a bunch of resources that are just scattered around doing nothing.
Add-on complete.
I still can't get over that blotch of 3 colors on the minimap is Nova's icon. If I get real close to the monitor, I can like kind of see that it looks kind of like a head, but it's got like this blue outline on it, which really adds a fuck ton of noise. And they should have gotten rid of the visor because that clashes with it. Yeah, this messed up shit. All they really had to do is just make a green icon from the side of the head to show the ponytail, and then that adds a silhouette that you can identify right away that says, hey, that's Nova, as opposed to this fucking abomination, where someone like took a face texture or something and tried to turn it into an icon.
As you say. Status report.
Well, emphasis on tried. You know.
And there's nothing elsewhere on the other side of the city. You're just wandering around in an abyss of nothing.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty fair characterization so far.
Tal'Darim immortals are advancing on our position. They'll carve through our forces unless we stop them.
Leave it to me. Ah, Commander.
Our covert ops specialist is the commander of all of our defense for the entire Dominion.
Yeah, why not?
And you sure ascended the ranks real fast there.
And indicators. Incoming immortals. Hi.
Yep. I mean, why don't they just give you full fucking map vision? If we're going insinuated you've got like orbital presence or some shit, why don't we just like give you map vision, not indicator? That like we did that for the other defense maps. And yes, this is another fucking sit here and defend. We just don't want build and destroy in a game about build and destroy. I don't understand. I mean, whatever hack threw this pile of shit together was definitely not the same person who threw the other pile of shit together. He had a chance to do something right, and he just didn't want.
Yeah, it's pretty puzzling.
Just destroyed someone called Bear DeVere.
Bear.
Didn't even stand a chance against me despite using Washington, South Dakota, and Enterprise.
What kind of phone game are you playing?
It's called Lullies. Currently I'm doing PvP. which is AI. It's AI versus AI. But you set up like your team and equipment and shit. And there's more gameplay in watching them kill each other than what you're doing right now. Because at least I can do something to influence the outcome. What you're doing is literally just basically A-moving again, if even.
The side streets. The Tal'Darim will probably strike these areas soon. Your support would be welcome, Nova.
I'll be there. Nova here.
This music is so weird.
I don't really get the connection so far.
It's a breakaway from what they had going before, which is good because they didn't have anything going before at all. But it doesn't fit the pacing of the map at all, and you only ever hear it a couple times because it's so low key. And you don't want it to be so high key it conflicts with reads, you know, if the game had reads, but there is so much collectible resources fucking everywhere.
Okay, bye.
Got it.
Is it just me, or does those nukes descend faster than normal?
Oh yeah, way faster.
Because it seems like it. The next person I just murdered was Just Cat.
Don't say cat.
Just Cat.
No.
Go ahead. Engaging the enemy.
Oh no, Nova's engaging the enemy. Oh, man. It's a lie.
Can't get over how bad their engine effects look on those fucking Liberators, though.
Of course.
It's so easy to make decent-looking engine effects.
Course set.
Well,
I
you've
mean,
made
in general,
particles.
Particles are easy as fuck,
so.
and they can't do them right.
I don't get any of this stuff, really. I don't understand how it's possible.
How long is this mission? Another 40, 50-minute defense that you literally sit here and do nothing?
Yeah.
Their unit count's not going down fast.
The Tal'Darim's attacks are intensive.
Oh, this is a good time, because I gotta go AFK.
Amazing. Oh, man. Unfortunately, our commentary hasn't really been superb this particular run. We were both very tired. But,
I'll do my best to keep it safe.
I gotta tell you, man.
Upgrade complete.
Liberation is at hand.
This game doesn't really give us too much to work with. We got all this low-resolution shit visually, texture-wise. Like, the ground here is pretty bad. Although the engine obviously destroys stuff.
Flying in from the right side.
Nova, why are you helping these vermin?
There are innocent people here. You already know that. You just don't care.
Alright, I don't know what's happening. My tanks are under attack somewhere. I guess I should probably have some SCVs at these locations.
First squadrons in the Dominion fleet have arrived, and will begin supporting our defenses. Our Gorgon-class battlecruisers are particularly effective against heavy resistance. Give the call, and I'll command them to clear an area.
Ah, I forgot about this.
Loud and clear.
I think that takes care of that. I'll just sit here and drain energy. Send 2 SCVs over in this direction.
What's going on?
Mostly need gas right now. We're gonna get some battle cruisers soon. But yeah, the oh, I don't have a fusion core. You guys come over here. I'm not really using the subway system at all. Generally speaking, it's a big waste of my time, I think. I think I need 2 over there. And I need 1 more over here, if I'm not mistaken, for 2.
Lens flares.
3. You.
3.
So you could be talking about lens flares and call down a Gorgon if you can, Nova. So we get
hey
these.
Man, that's lewd.
These battle cruisers.
3.
3, because there's 3
3.
lanes.
3.
Duh.
I don't understand these shitty fucking defense maps, man. And then we give you get out of jail free cards too. That's a consistent with most of the.
God damn it! I thought they were gonna walk into it instead of walking into me.
You really laid it on them, man.
Well, they're immortals, so don't really do anything.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Oh. These subway stations are really stupid.
Insufficient
Yep.
Vespene gas. Insufficient Vespene gas.
God damn it.
By the way, insufficient Vespene gas.
Vespene gas.
Thanks.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Gotta get out those Gencom bottles and start collecting your due, man.
I believe it.
Use those mules.
Can't. They're
Well,
disabled. Just like
time
me.
to submit an email to Blizzard and say you're being oppressed. That'll get them moving and enabling mules for you.
Oh yeah, I need more tanks and stuff. I mean, these guys are mostly self-sufficient, so I don't really know. That indicator is now team-colored for some reason.
Base is under attack. Nuclear missile ready. Additional supply depots required. Additional supply depots required.
I don't think I'm ever really in any danger.
Walkers are coming in from the left side.
Like, this is one of the other things, like, yeah, this is a defense mission, but has nothing to do with, like, actually defending me. It's just these random excess bits and pieces here and there.
I'm sorry, Simo. HMS and Belfast doesn't seem to work against Fox.
Oh, okay.
People think it's like the #1 meme team, and they always get memed. Meanwhile, the Colossi are now using their special versions.
Don't ask
Like
me
the actual
why.
Tal'Darim versions, as opposed to previous map where they were just recolored normal Colossi. Consistency? Anyone? Anyone?
No.
See, this is what happens when you don't playtest your product, is really obvious stuff like that happens.
Upgrade complete.
I also really don't understand the motivation to go for these random extra bits where you're like, you know, in the last mission we were able to do kooky shit like swap out our stuff, but it was only temporary. You know, it wasn't something that you could do regularly.
More Wrathwalkers are moving to intercept our forces.
Whatever, dude. Like, this isn't... Oh, fuck, I accidentally called in a Gorgon. God damn it.
I'll make it happen.
This blink suit is also really silly because you could actually just have permanent cloaking. Because your cloak lasts longer than the cooldown. What? What? What?
What?
What happened?
There was an orange shockwave.
Yeah, but why?
I'm missing anything. It was from the Gorgon.
The remainder of the
No?
Dominion fleet has reached our position, Emperor.
At last. Ensure they fill in the weak points in our defenses. You should also transfer General Davis to one of the brigs. She must be kept under maximum guard, no matter what happens.
Of course. I'll see to it.
I think all my SCVs that I sent over there to repair stuff died. Horrible deaths.
And then there's people who use heavy cruisers in PvP. SMH.
I'm learning some facts every time.
You're learning some facts. They have shitty evasion. That means that their effective health is very low compared to light cruiser. Which basically means that I shit all over people who are very high ranked in this game.
Germans.
Germans. Yeah, I suppose Germans probably enjoy that.
Unacceptable command.
Oh shit.
Murderin, that's this guy's name, as his front line just melts before my second airstrike is even ready to come out. That's pretty feels bad, man. Because I think his backline is better geared than mine is. It don't matter.
See, there's station medics over here, but not any SCVs for some reason.
They use that battlecruiser model, the one from Alpha.
Such stupidity, even for
Janara. I guess Alarak won't fight his own battles.
And it doesn't have a death model. I was waiting
That
to
was
see.
epic.
I was waiting to make sure, but you know, I really gave them the benefit of the doubt when they had no right to have any. Hi!
Couldn't the Protoss just destroy the planet?
No. That would be colonial.
Oh, I see. Wouldn't want the Anteater to be colonial.
I'll make it happen.
Ah! Instant death, I guess. It's a trap, we get it! They're gay, we know! Stop it! It may have actually taken me more effort to... Hi.
She finally gone?
I don't think so. But there are still more Tal'Darim attacking. Our fight has not ended.
Whatever. I need another tank. I'm not sure which one died. I guess I'll call down that Gorgon. Check out my bunker. It heals. It's not even on fucking fire, even though it has no HP. Jesus Christ. It's a trap.
You know, traps are gay.
They are gay. Kaboom. Why there's so many of these subways? Oh yeah, you missed while you were gone. There was the incredible dialogue about the science facility here. That if you defend it, they're gonna cure cancer or something. Oh shit.
Oh, Nova died again. Oh, no, maybe.
I couldn't see the observer that I stunned, so I couldn't kill it.
I thought it was a sentry.
Well, it was on top of
a
the sentry, so might as well have been.
My battle cruisers are better than your battle cruisers.
I'll deal with it.
No, you won't. You're fucking dead, idiot.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Professional gameplay here, man.
Loud and clear. Got it. Strictly business.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Void rays. So that was a large number of void rays, allegedly.
It was like 5. It's a lot.
I suppose it's a lot for their engine to process.
It's a trap. If you're gonna have personalized unit response sounds, maybe... Oh!
Janara is leading the rest of the Death Fleet toward us, Nova.
We'll finish this. One way or another.
Oh! Oh, hi. Another mothership. Another opportunity to witness the glorious death model. Nah. Alright. It's a tiny default explosion.
How embarrassing, man. Holy shit.
It's insane. And
Tip ability was a mistake.
it's a pretty good bit, since those units just at fire while on the move.
Mineral field depleted.
Alright, we've got some battle cruisers.
Mineral field
Hi.
depleted.
Status report.
Tal'Darim casualties are high. We've forced them to accept defeat. Losses on our side as well.
Oh, depth of field.
Recall
It
our
looks
ships.
so ugly.
We need to get back to Core Hall. One of the ships isn't responding. The Medusa. They had Davis in custody there.
My scans show the Medusa has already left orbit.
And she escaped. Return to
Oh.
your ship, Nova. We have much to discuss.
And the camera hitched as well. I don't know why. There's no reason.
Because they never tested it.
Oh,
Probably
1,000
got hooked
enemy
on
units
doodads.
killed. Stupid. Lens flares.
Lens flares.
I hope they put lens flares on my epitaph. I mean, my gravestone. That's really what I want after all this.
I do not take kindly to betrayal, Terran. You've made a powerful enemy today.
Even in your radio cutscene. You.
Have I now? Your hubris is quite entertaining.
Don't come back.
What an idiot.
Nova. The Tal'Darim are warping out, but the damage is done. Now it will be even harder to convince the people that aliens are not a threat.
That's why the Defenders of Man attacked the Protoss in the first place. Davis will go to any length to gain public support, no matter how many innocent lives it costs.
Those were my father's tactics. Davis will answer for this, Nova. Track her down and bring her in to stand trial for her crimes.
Bring her in. We've tried that. It didn't work. There's only one way to stop her.
No. I have publicly declared that Davis is to stand trial in a court of law. Bring her back alive, Nova.
Yes, Emperor.
Her armor morphs with her neck.
Nova.
Yep.
Our orders are quite clear.
It's just not. I mean, I guess it's form-fitting or whatever, but it seems really weird. Oh, Nigel.
Nigel's is much more evident than hers, though. His whole collar piece is weighted to his neck bone.
Yeah. It's not how clothes work.
It's been hours since we lost contact with the ship that Davis was on.
Oh yeah, get ready for anime.
Here's a distress call from the Cerro shipyards. A Dominion vessel is firing on the rest of the fleet.
It's her.
They would know what the fucking call sign of the ship is, you know? It's kind of like written on the side of it and...
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Tony? Tony?
Oh man!
You didn't even look at the cinematic you put together. That's pretty bad.
Just flickered in and out of existence, laughing at us, waving. Wave emoji.
But Davis is aware of them, and the top-ranking defenders still support her.
But what is she planning on doing?
It looks like she left her ship to activate the Xanthos. It's an experimental war machine with an array of heavy assault weapons.
She's going to use it to finish off the fleet.
Wow, that thing looks really retarded.
No, wait till you see it in action. And wait till you see my solution to it.
Prototype armor plating that will repel direct attacks. But if you target its weapons individually, you can bring them offline and force her retreat. The Xanthos will be vulnerable to attack while it's repairing. They'll likely retreat to a secure area during the process. Breaking through their fortifications and striking then is your best chance to destroy it, Nova.
Of course. It always comes down to me.
Yeah, you stupid covert operative retard. Oh! Ionic force field. That's gay. I think that's actually... This might actually be the best weapon for that. I don't really remember. I don't remember. It's all blending together.
In a sea of burnt marmalade and jenkum bottles.
In a sea of soul burning.
After a grueling battle, the Dominion military has defeated the Protoss invasion fleet on Bardona. Eyewitnesses claim that many of the defenders of man fought alongside the Dominion, indicating that their loyalty may have returned to the Emperor. However, General Davis has escaped custody, and Dominion officials are offering a reward for any information on her whereabouts.
Alright, bye. Well, copy-pasted Vikings.
That thing looks mind-blowingly retarded.
One of the Vikings has engines and the other one does not.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, they didn't pay attention to the cinematic where the lens flare flickered in and out of its existence.
I don't remember
long
that.
after the ship had disappeared. Like, do you think they're going to pay attention to something like this?
I don't remember
Which takes
that
a fraction of time to put together?
happening at any point.
The Xanthos to repair it are taking heavy damage. It is wrong about doing so. Strike it down before it finishes its repairs.
Thanks.
No problem, dude. Anytime. Smoke weed.
The Xanthos is currently located here, Nova. Admiral Horner has positioned his forces around the docked battlecruisers. Also, I thought
Why do my tanks idle like this? So goofy.
communications again.
Prepare to move out. We will die.
What a peeping Tom. Nigel has some weird fetishes.
Yeah, what can you say?
That's fine.
Say again. Strictly business.
I don't remember which one she targets first.
Add-on complete.
Hi.
Consider it done.
Hi.
General, it appears we have company. It's the ghost who escaped.
Of course it is. We'll
And then they just scanned me. What a prank.
Complete.
Oh no, 4 out of 3. Not 3.
Look at those mineral patches. Look at the left pack. The left 2. Zoom into the minerals themselves.
Ah!
Look at them. Look at their metal things clipping inside of you.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Z fighting.
It works.
It sure does work. We tried real hard on that one.
Loud and clear.
How embarrassing.
Reporting for action. Got freedom?
God
Status
freedom.
report. Strictly business.
No.
What? The fuck?
What? Where did they come from?
They just appeared.
I wasn't even looking and thought I'd seen that you'd moved down and then looked away and then suddenly there was like 30 dudes.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
Confirm that last.
Ow! Oh!
My scans show the Xanthos moving toward a
Oh, she's going this
Get
one.
ready to counter it. Its weapons array is powering a flamethrower and an armor-piercing railgun.
Man, this thing behaves so stupidly. Hope you're ready.
I mean, railguns kind of insinuate they're piercing. Wow, that thing looks even more retarded as a unit. It's firing through its own hull at one point.
Wow. It just, I don't know why it focused so much on those units, but
We'll return with greater firepower.
It's way more embarrassing than I expected it
Xanthos
to
is
be.
vulnerable now, Nova, but you'll have to fight your way to it.
Nova here. Executing. Standing by. How can we help? Perfect. Initiating.
Oof. Ah. Ah.
Flight plan is locked.
Nuclear missile ready.
Status report. Attention! We read you. Perfect. I'm reading you.
What an insane weapon.
Nova, this is Hyperion action.
Oh, there were minerals over
Ready
here.
to assault on the Defender's forces guarding the Xanthos.
Sounds like a party. I'll bring some reinforcements.
No.
Additional supply depots
You won't.
required.
What's going on? This better be good.
So the Hyperion just shows up and picks your target path for you. You're not allowed to make that decision on your own. It just randomly selects. And then A moves mindlessly into the enemy base with no target. As you can see, it does basically no damage and has basically no armor. So it takes a lot of damage.
How can we help? Attention!
This better be good.
That's all we can take.
So they killed 3 units, basically. And that was it, man.
Loud and clear.
They only send the one ship, too.
Acknowledged.
Yeah, of course.
Got it.
Get back here! Oh!
Freedom.
Need something. This better be good. Big job, huh?
Reporting for action.
Ready another attack. We've already taken too long.
Brand new. Give us your best shot.
Oh, he's over here repairing shit. I was wondering.
You scared me.
Alright. Do those.
You ever butter another man's biscuit before?
I can't say that I have done that exact thing.
Navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion Gorgon.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Bay capable of deploying
You really are.
superiority fighters.
The main thing that always gets me when I play this mission is that I always get annihilated by attacks because I'm using all my forces to attack the Xanthos! But it's really not that difficult to kill it with Liberators, so...
Say again.
As you can see here.
Lol.
Oof, Nova. That looks so fucked.
That's enough. We need repairs.
Oh, Vikings are aggroed for some reason. They're what? They're killing themselves. Oh, that Viking outranges the bunker. That's pretty epic. Never thought I would see that one.
Commander.
Jesus Christ. Oh wait, what am I doing? I can do this!
Well.
Well.
I just witnessed that.
That's the Xanthos. You're welcome to join in, Nova.
No, I don't think I will.
Don't leave me hanging. You want a piece of me, boy?
Liberation is a...
Additional supply depots required.
What's going on? Roger.
It's that time again.
See? Works out every time, man. I'm telling you. Oh, hi.
Just walls of units. Huge fucking walls of units. I think the Hyperion may have just Yamato'd a Marine or something.
That's what it looked like. Not sure about that one.
The Hyperion needs time to recover from that. We're leaving for a bit, Nova.
A bit. By the way. Oh yeah, I forgot that does no has no effect on battlecruiser.
You just gunned down a battlecruiser. How does that make you feel?
Good.
Pretty good.
You are authorized to strike the enemy.
Wow, I'm authorized, dude.
Well, this may be the first time we actually see nukes. Now, how do they plan to implement them in this map? Are they going to have the AI attend to nuke you with tactical AI, or they're just going to spawn nukes on you? Big think time.
We need to assault another Gorgon soon. That
I can tell you for sure this scan is not tactical AI because it's delayed.
Is it really delayed?
Well, I mean, you attacked it and then like have a second later or 2 seconds later they actually scan. It seemed like to me there was a delay. I highly doubt they're using actual orbital commands to scan.
What? It didn't even warn me. They didn't.
So, like I said, will they actually use ghosts, or are they gonna just trigger it? I think that may have answered it, unless I missed it, because I'm not really.
Yeah, maybe I missed it too. That's really weird.
Base is under attack.
There's a single ghost poking me.
Confirm that last.
Oh man.
I think you're fucked on that one.
Yeah, I don't have any liberators.
Or it'll just let you nuke it, I guess.
Well, that does no damage. So.
Oh shit, there's an indicator.
They destroyed one of our Gorgons.
Gorgons. Ah! Oof.
Oh, you did. There was 2 armors floating in the air because they didn't fog out at the same time. So that was another something that was never tested.
Liberation is at hand. Standing by.
Alright. Let's see what we can do with those. Probably not much.
Another Gorgon has been demolished.
Oh, it just sat there? You took it? I thought I was going to distract it at least. Indicators!
Indicators.
Yes, sir. I'm reading you. En route.
Go fuck yourself, dude. That's a pretty goofy amount of range, don't you think?
Over here. Liberation is at hand. Say again?
Oh, okay.
Watch out for those. There was some really messed up looking graphic in the midst of that. Yeah, that was messed up.
On the move.
Yep. Yeah, this is happening.
Upgrade complete.
What an epic fight.
Systems are failing.
And you can see the shadows on the ground disappearing in individual pieces again.
Even when Blizzard does stuff, they don't do stuff.
Yeah. There's probably a really simple way to fix that. Like making sure their bounding origin is all in the same place or occupies the same space. So they call at the same time, or maybe just making it not call under fog at all because it's so big.
Hope to see you there.
There's definitely a few ways you can get around that.
How is it out of range when it's in your zone, dude?
Guys, it's not accurate because nobody tested this software.
Yeah, you motto that barracks, dude. What the fuck?
See, that scan is really weird. I can't.
Did he just
Why did it cancel the Yamato?
I don't know.
He was targeting something that wasn't the battlecruiser, that's for sure.
Oh wait, I gotta do... I failed to use the jump jets yet again.
Well, it's such an awkward thing. Like, you don't really expect them to be able to do that. And you don't play this long enough to really get muscle memory for it.
We need to patch up our ship.
Someone get Swan, you know, this guy that we should have on staff. Why does it double scan me? It still had the scan from before. Hi. Oof. Ah. Oof. Yeah, that is fucked. What is happening? Shortly, not right now. Oh! You have vision of me, but I guess you don't want to turn around and fight. They just have infinite scan, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a triggered event. You'll know when it isn't, because it'll be centered right on you every single time.
No right to command his father's fleet.
My scans show the Xanthos moving toward a Gorgon. Get ready to counter it.
I'm not ready.
You're floating some money, and you're losing your precious supply depot wall of China.
We have you on screen. Perfect. Additional supply details required. Need something upgrade complete.
Alright, well. I never managed to make it through over here, so this is not gonna look too good for us. What? Go fuck yourself, dude. Well. Well.
Davis's forces have succeeded in taking out another division.
What? Excuse me? Where were they? Oh, it was probably hidden by the doodad. Yeah, it's hidden by the doodad. That is so
That's
fucked.
good. You make something that's based on indicators with really, really fast missiles, and then you don't show the indicators. Because the missile, you weren't even in range of those missiles, it seemed like. Because they weren't attacking for a while.
Let's just fly into it and spin.
Oh, that did a lot of damage. But
Yeah.
you spin.
And that was
You
just
gotta
one.
skate.
We're taking too much damage. Fall back.
Nova here.
Ay, ay, ay.
You have 10,000 minerals.
Yeah.
And
not-
1,300 gas.
That's not enough, dude.
You need to make more missile turrets.
Okay.
Just like cover the Gorgons and missile turrets. I don't know if the Gorgon's gonna go over there, but... Or the fucking...
Xanthos!
Xanthos.
To the front line.
Go get him, Horner.
Alright, you gotta
It's too
clear
bad
this
Raynor
area.
drunk himself to death. You don't have someone who's even more bored sounding than you.
Nuclear missile ready. Base is under attack.
Hey, stop that.
Engaging the enemy.
Alright, cool. Glad there's population over here, dude.
Yep. Nice terrain, too. Very well detailed.
Oh, more depots, you got it.
Our systems are critical.
Lens flares.
We have to retreat.
It's okay, Horner.
Base
You showed them that you were the Horneriest.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Can't believe this is real. Bye. Bye.
That's really broken.
Mm-hmm.
I can't build here.
Status report. Ready another attack. We've already taken too long.
Well,
Base is under
we got some
attack.
turrets anyway. Shit.
Our SCVs
They have a lot of, well, at least they used all their Yamatos on the fucking turrets.
Head to a Gorgon.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
base is under attack.
I just lost 3 battle cruisers. Very unfortunate.
Completed.
Nova here.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Upgrade. Mineral field depleted.
Confirm that last. Terminating. Return to safety. We'll renew the attack later.
This is very expensive. Well, the Hyperion will be back soon, at least. Isn't that
Yes,
exciting?
because that's always an inspiring charge to victory that has gotten us so far in this.
Mm-hmm.
Nova here.
Yes, Commander.
Say again. Status report.
I just can't believe how much pre-placed shit is in my way at every stage.
Yep, just chilling out.
They don't even use it. Other attack waves are
Nope.
spawned.
Inbound. We're ready to see some more action.
Loud and clear.
Ow. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, guys. Oh, wait, they're going this way. It's so dumb.
It's okay, you're distracting the enemy force. Oh, wait.
What defenses?
Mineral field depleted.
Oh, shit. Gotta set up some more missile turrets over here. Huh? Are they nuking themselves?
Nuclear missile ready.
Where could they be nuking? Oh, they are nuking themselves! Thank you!
That's amazing. They actually didn't use it. Oh, I mean, they may have used a triggered nuke for that. Who knows? Yeah, I've never actually seen a StarCraft 2 AI nuke. So I don't know if they even actually have tactical AI for that or not. I think it exists in their code.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't.
That ghost will use any delay to her advantage.
You're giving me way too much credit, man. Oh no.
West Wing Gaza exhausted.
Acknowledged.
Base is under attack.
They just run head first into a bunch of
Head to a
defenses.
Gorgon.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
This is disgusting, dude. It's a mess.
I'm reading you. Say again.
We have no gas, so we're pretty much fucked.
You need to head over to Africa and take part of that Jenkem.
Not my turrets.
Status report.
Base is under attack.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, indicators. Oh, spin. Spin the meat. Spin the meat, Daddy!
They just brought down a
Daddy,
battle
spin the meat.
cruiser with a flamethrower.
Novi. Say again. Acknowledged.
I can grab some more of that coffee.
Okay. I'm gonna grab some more of that gas, if you know what I'm saying. Except I'm not, because there's the only other expansions on the fucking map are ones that are over here. The enemy is taken. What? All my Yamatos are... Oh yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Admiral Horner here. My ship is returning to the front line.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh yeah, I have to set up a bunch of missile turrets over here to stop them from
Mineral field depleted.
being able to easily walk in here. Oh, just cancel that order. This strategy is really goofy, but I don't know. It's probably okay if I just keep Nova back here to use nukes. I probably should have invested in nuke silos since they're only like 50 gold, 50 gas, gold, same thing. But I guess I'll let the Hyperion take some dicks here. See some enemies in the bottom. Problem is you can't really focus fire with these things. You just have to accept that they're gonna shoot shit in random arrangements. There's not really any control through positioning, so it's kind of frustrating in that respect. And I'm hitching really, really badly right now. I'm not quite sure why. I think I canceled all of their Yamatos, or I think I lost one battle cruiser to Yamatos, but...
Low.
And they still have dude, they can cast like 3 or 2 or at least 2 casts of battle cruiser or of Yamato.
It's okay, the Hyperion's in control.
Move the Xanthos out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
Well, this is a pretty good amount of shit, so.
That's all we can take. Heading back for now.
What is... These fucking units are flying away instead of fighting!
Why are they running away from you?
I don't know.
We cannot wait any longer. Launch another offensive.
Davis is navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion.
I gotta kill all of this fucking production. Get me out of here, dude. Dude, fuck off! There's shit that kills me in one hit. That's so obnoxious. And they scammed me because I casted a nuke on something that wasn't. Wow. That's some nice shit right there, man. Where's... Oh, Nova died. I think I have to win way faster. There's like no way I can do this right now. I have nothing, so... Man. What an embarrassment.
By the way, load more.
Don't. No. I don't need to be reminded. I understand that Blizzard
Load more.
can only have so much on the same screen because they playtest on iPads. But I don't need to know that, okay?
The Xanthos is currently located.
That is none of my business.
Admiral Horner has positioned his forces around the docked battle cruisers. Also, I thought it would be useful to listen in on the Defender's communications again.
Prepare to move out. We will die for Arcturus before we serve his murderer.
So I'll just expand quicker and, you know. other such things. See, the real problem with this stuff is that it just basically turns into like a puzzle map. Where you have to, you know, do the right combo of strategies.
General, it appears we have company. It's the ghost who escaped.
Well, that's what happens when you deal with such limited resources.
We'll handle her.
Yeah. I guess I'll use her to kill this stuff down here, since I have the capability to.
Add-on complete.
And I lost everything.
Say again?
Yep.
Consider it.
Really? I actually did lose everything. What the fuck? Well. I'll just win with Ravens, dude. Maybe that Seeker Missile would work. Also, they only use the scan when I'm attacking their defense, not when I'm attacking their attack.
Use the Xanthos out to strike a Gorgon shortly. I'll make it happen.
And then they all moved it. Text stuff that's not even related.
My scans show the Xanthos moving toward a
And that guy's just spinning. He's not even really
weapons
stunned.
array is powering a flamethrower and an armor-piercing railgun.
Well, I've got a single Raven, so that'll work.
Say again?
I probably have to restart again. I killed the fucking SCV that was building that, so that's great. Actually, maybe if I do get that that upgrade for them that gives them the Seeker Missiles, they might actually be what I need. It's just that they're so gas heavy. Oh, this is a good bit. I'll show you this.
Head back for repairs. We'll return with
Scan me
greater
again.
firepower.
The Xanthos is vulnerable now, Nova, but you'll have to fight your way to it.
Man, that's
Nuclear missile.
something distinctly miserable about this whole experience. I wonder what it could be.
Is it medicine breathing onto your neck and collecting this heap of humidity?
Yeah.
And you like slowly get Prozac addiction from it? Because it's seeping into your skin?
I'll make it happen. Time to...
Nova, this is Hyperion Actual. We're readying an assault on the Defender's forces guarding the Xanthos.
Sounds like a party. I'll bring some reinforcements.
This is ridiculous.
En route. Got it.
You gonna give me orders?
They kind of bait you into thinking that the high ground is a good idea, but it isn't. Definitely is not.
That's all we can take. Heading back for
I still can't believe how little they do by themselves. It's insane.
Base is under attack.
Man. Another man.
Another man.
Maybe I should just mass marines. I get so many minerals and no
Ready another attack.
gas.
Taking too long.
Yeah.
Not enough minerals.
Just gonna grab one of those as well.
Status report. Executed.
Davis is navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion Gorgon. They've activated a new bay capable of deploying air superiority fighters.
I still can't believe that they do no splash damage and my auto turrets heal as well. What is wrong with this game? That's insanity. And kind of Prozac-y. Oof, ah. No. God damn it. Well, that Gorgon's done for.
Add-on
I gotta make 1 billion marines.
Not enough minerals.
Look at these weapon impacts.
Yep. I don't think they actually really have weapon impact.
I look good. That's going on. It's the farthest away. Fuck, dude! That really was a death knell. Because there's no way I can maneuver this. I don't think.
Say again. Executing.
I guess I could walk up here and nuke. No, I think I have to nuke my way into this area. What?
Another Gorgon has been demolished.
Okay, fuck this, dude. I'm just so flabbergasted at the amount of like minerals worth of units that are on the map just standing there in my way, dude. This is like playing a Warcraft 3 campaign or something. Except then my heroes would gain experience.
The Xanthos is currently located here, Nova. Admiral Horner has positioned his forces around the docked battlecruisers. Also, I thought it would be useful to listen in on the Defenders' communications again.
Prepare to move out. We will die for Arcturus before we serve his murderer.
Alright. Die for you before you serve me. Yeah, so those ravens were completely ineffectual. Why did she go for a medic? Oof.
General, it appears we have company.
It's fine, she'll be back in time.
The ghost who escaped.
Of course it is. We'll handle her.
Ooh, ooh. Do a little hopscotch while I wait. Give me a little little entertainment now and again. No. I already have to restart now. Why does D the end game, dude? Just more options, man. Give me more options.
Give me more options. Where's the news?
There should be one.
We need the noose.
Okay.
The Xanthos is currently located here, Nova.
I think I'm just poorly kitted out for this or something.
Docked battlecruisers. Also, I thought it would be useful to listen in on the Defenders' communications again.
Prepare to move out. We will die for Arcturus before we serve his murderer.
Not enough minerals.
Why did they place the depots like this as well?
Status report.
It's very goofy.
Acknowledged.
Why did they just give her the Dark Templar ability, man?
They don't really have anything else to add. Anything else would take effort, I guess.
Appears we have company. It's the ghost who escaped.
Of course it is. We'll handle her. Got it.
Alright. Well, if I go in this direction... I really don't know what the most optimal defense area would look like. I guess over here. Because if you put it up against the ramp, it just get annihilated by other shit, so...
Status report. Got it. Acknowledged. En route.
What a useful stun. What a useful hero. Definitely not flawed in terms of design at all.
In the rear with the gear. I can't build here. What's going on? Yo.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I guess the other issue right now is I have basically no units to fight this idiot. Oh shit. Well. This is so fucking embarrassing, dude.
My scans show the Xanthos moving toward a Gorgon. Get ready to counter it. Its weapons array is powering a flamethrower and an armor-piercing railgun.
Advancing on target.
Been waiting on you.
Aye, aye,
I'm reading you.
What's up, motherfucker? What do you think of this?
It's epic. Good gameplay.
Oh! I slashed it.
Yes, you did. Because it's a 2D engine and you were underneath it within range of the 2D scan.
I'll make it happen.
This is the secret the whole time, dude.
Yep.
Head back for repairs.
Insanity.
We'll return with greater firepower.
Well memed.
Xanthos is vulnerable now, Nova, but you'll have to fight your way to it.
Go ahead.
It's the fucking conga line of insanity, meanwhile.
Big job, huh? This better be good. SCV ready. SCV ready. Bad news? Don't leave me just.
Nova, this is Hyperion Actual. We're readying an assault on the Defenders' forces guarding the Xanthos.
Sounds like a party. I'll bring some reinforcements.
I guess I'm pretty much completely immobile, which is a problem right now. But nothing I can do about that, I feel. Just occasionally throw nukes at them. Are you kidding me? Fuck!
Dead.
I was hoping that the nuke would have worked. Well, there's a waste of a nuke. I forgot that they just scan you automatically, because they don't do it at any other point. They don't behave intelligently at all when you're nuking, so...
Base is under attack.
no sense of continuity there.
Annuity. TBH.
Upgrade.
Amazing. Well, if I only need Nova to kill that thing. Oh, no, I don't only need her because of the. I actually need something to target her shit down. Like, her fighter bay is really the only thing that poses any threat.
Confirm that last.
These stunned units are just being shoved around.
They've activated a new bay capable of deploying air superiority fighters.
Over here.
Add-on complete.
Man. What a mess. Man, that has some range.
Strictly business.
It's pretty close, man.
Status report. Reporting for action. Yes, sir. Damn it. They destroyed one of our Gorgons. In here.
What the Jesus Christ! How much health does this shit have? Seriously! This is sick! This is sick behavior! This is like diaper fur territory, dude. Get me the fuck out, seriously!
There is no out.
Upgrade complete.
Should be.
You wanted this.
No.
You wanted the rod.
Yes, sir.
Where is my unit? Oh, here. Out of range?
That's enough. We need repairs. It is locked.
Who wants some?
Give us your best shot.
What a disaster.
Reporting for action.
Nuclear missile.
Go, go, go!
Course set. Perfect. Initiating. Attention. Queued up, ready to go. Flight plan is
Why did they do that? What the fuck?
got no pay. Go, go, go.
I'm leading another charge against the Xanthos. You're welcome to join in, Nova.
Where is Nova?
Confirm that
Oh.
last. Acknowledged. Incoming orders. Flight plan is locked.
I gotta defend my base, so...
As you say.
Should be gay.
What's going on? I can't build here. Yo.
Add-on complete.
Especially gay.
The Hyperion needs time to recover from that. We're leaving for a bit, Nova.
Wow.
Here they come. Here they come. Okay.
I know it looked
all
fucking...
right.
I know.
I mean, it's more to the fact that's even possible. It's like you didn't even take damage from the nuke.
Yeah. You're invulnerable while in that effect.
But you died in that effect before, I swear. I've seen it.
No.
Maybe it's during like the casting or something.
Yeah, probably. It's like right after I finish or something.
Incoming or reporting for action. Flight plan is locked.
You want a piece of me, boy?
I mean, I wouldn't put it... What are you doing? Oh, what does E mean? Oh, I can't decipher that one.
That ghost will use any delay to her advantage.
Oh, shit.
Confirm that last.
Were they? What? They like reset their. What are they?
And then they went over here.
See, when you just make your game a series of hacks, this is where you went.
Additional supply depots required.
Because as busted as the melee AI is, it really doesn't do shit like that often. And I'm pretty sure triggered attack waves normally don't do that either.
Oh, okay, well.
You didn't move out of the indicators.
I can't with those units. Huh. Oh. Well, time to storm the base with 1,000,000 Marines.
Go get him, Captain.
Dude, they killed every one of my liberators, dude. I had like at least 7, probably closer to 10 at that point. That's insanity.
Another Gorgon has been demolished.
I hear a lot of Marine deaths. I'm just trying to... I can't even get under it, dude. I can't even Dark Souls it. Clearly I need more barracks.
Confirm that last.
Oh man, what an insane experience.
Gotta be your me.
Alright. Have fun!
Moving into Nova here. Attention. Confirm that last.
Of course.
Upgrade complete. Status report. Got it.
Well, I don't know what killed her. We don't need her though, we got Marines. What an unreadable fucking mess. I also can't believe that she's the only one who can... I can't believe that she is the only one who can paint nukes. That's another thing that's insane.
Turn back. Our weapon systems are failing.
I've won with that kind of comp before, so I know it's possible to do. It's just really gay. And I guess we kind of need liberators for other things, but... I guess we'll just leave the Marines here and then use the liberators to siege. That's probably the best strategy that I can come up with off the top of my head. Oh yeah, we should probably get some upgrades too. That would help. No?
Acknowledged. Got it.
Let's come over here.
We're setting a course for the Xanthos, Nova. Hope to see you there.
What a strange thing to say. I'm just gonna use this time to mass up my army. I'll aid with Nova however I can, but it's not gonna be very much. How did these units get over here?
On the offensive.
What exactly was the incentive there?
For the general. Got it.
Alright, well. There you go. That's how much I could do. Apparently.
Full speed. Nuclear missile ready.
Someone get Swan. We need to patch up our ship.
Wow, I can't believe I was able to order up that many. That's insane. Oh, man. Oh, I thought they were remodeling Marines. Wow. Maybe Mass Marine really is the way to go here. I would just... I don't have any armor upgrades right now, so they're pretty much worthless against... Oh, I have some Liberators over here. Alright, I gotta put these guys in a different hotkey.
Out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
Complete.
Yes, sir. Status report.
How can we...
Nova here.
Alright, well...
We are at maximum supply. Nuclear missile ready.
Get ready for no FPS.
We cannot wait any longer. Launch another offensive.
Davis is navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion Gorgon.
Sure.
Alright.
Say again.
Oh my goodness. Then on top of everything else, she gets zapped like 80 times. I gotta run up here and kill this. Alright, cool.
Status report.
Mineral field depleted.
I'll make it happen.
That's bullshit. Shouldn't have happened. I guess I have to stand like right behind it. But it's really hard to know because it's like sort of moving at the same time.
Got it.
I can take like 2 hits of that. But
Loud and clear.
yeah, I should have it. It's just really hard to get behind it when it's this close. Like, it's so fucking bulky.
We're taking too much damage. Fall back.
I don't have minerals forever, so I have to make some progress here. I don't know where this Valerian retard is going to station his shit. So he's got 1 Marine over here. His Dominion are blue, by the way. That's another neat little addition. Alright, start messing with units. Get out of the way, please. Thanks. Now I'm walled in here. Oh, just see unit dots slowly being removed on the map.
Admiral Horner here. My ship is returning to the front line.
Moving into position. Course set. As you said.
Confirm that last.
Mineral field depleted.
As you
Alright.
said.
Additional supply depots.
I think it's mostly shit from the
Mineral field depleted.
from the air that kills this thing. I don't have any Vikings. I don't even know if I can build Vikings. Oh.
Our systems are critical. We have to retreat.
Moving into position.
And then they follow me in over here instead of attacking my base for some reason.
Nuclear launch detected. Mineral field depleted.
Alright, well. That sure was something. Hi, I guess I'll grab some workers and get them over here. Man, what a fucking stupid mission. I did not make nearly as much progress as I wished I had.
That ghost will use any delay to her advantage.
We have you on screen. Engaging the enemy. Nuclear missile.
Oh.
We read you.
Nova here.
Yes, sir. Easy.
I'm reading. There isn't much time. Head to a Gorgon.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
In the rear, by the door. Go ahead, huh? Yeah.
How can we help?
Oh wait, Marines.
Nova here.
Reporting for action.
I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt to... Well, yeah, it could definitely hurt if I tried to use those. Oh, okay. That worked out pretty well, actually. Didn't even have to micro or anything. Alright, cool.
I'm reading you.
I guess I'll just keep these guys back here.
Make it happen. Status
Mineral field depleted.
Mineral field depleted.
Mineral field depleted.
I don't know, man. Maybe I should just be using these guys in the front line as well. It's hard to say for sure, but it feels like the right thing to do in this case.
Status report.
Hope this aggro's some shit. Oh, cool. Hyperion's right here. I still don't really know what the rhyme or reason is of this. I assume there's something to do with, I don't know, something. I know. Amazing commentary. It's got to be something to do with how many, of, like, the shit that you've actually killed. I'm gonna leave Nova at home, because she needs to be able to defend. I've got nothing anywhere else. I don't know what that guy was trying to say, but he's dead now.
Base is under attack.
Yeah.
New launch detected.
Alright, well, I didn't lose too much anyways. Should be able to just walk in here and kill this stuff. There's so much shit just sitting around doing nothing. I got tier 3 upgrades at least, so...
Out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
I think I killed the ghost that was nuking. No idea.
That's all we can take. Heading back for now.
Was it? I didn't see their health bar. Could have been. But we secured another expansion, which is pretty important at this point.
Launch another offensive.
Davis is navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion Gorgon.
Wow, you don't say.
Mineral field depleted.
Say again.
Standing by.
Nova here.
I guess I'll send some SCVs up here. As you can see, they were basically untouched as far as that shit was concerned.
Confirm that last. Nova here.
Nuclear missile ready.
Nova here. Confirm that last.
Wow, these Marines are actually fucking broken.
The Xanthos must be repaired.
And he's probably going to start aggroing over in this direction, unfortunately, because that's just like the general vicinity of where they've put stuff. I'm gonna build a base a little bit off the beaten path. I don't know. I don't remember how aggressive they are at attacking your expansions if you go do that. And we have enough money right now where it's okay if I lose it, but it could also be really bad. So, alright. I've beaten back at this area, so hopefully he'll spawn closer towards the middle. As if I go ahead and nuke this.
Admiral Horner here.
Oh, he's going to the... Oh, what an idiot. What? I queued and she just sat there and spun and died, so that's great. Well, I guess we're running in, dude. Fuck this. What's up, bitch? Suck my dick. This isn't even that many like minerals worth of units or anything. But I'm also getting kissed by an attack wave simultaneously. Hey, they rebuilt this. Oof. Alright, well this is a bust for sure. I don't think we lost any liberators last time, or if we did, it was like a trivial amount anyways. Oh, hello. Look at how little damage this does. That was 19 liberators, by the way. I didn't even look to see how much progress that they made over there. Alright, just chip away at some of this defense at the edge. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they don't do that much damage considering that they're supposed to be AoE anyways. Holy shit. Alright, well, we're getting some money in it. What? Oh, there's a nuke. It's okay, we'll just replenish our shit that way.
Head to a Gorgon.
The Xanthos is getting into position.
Oh, of course she's coming right towards my base. Very nice of her. Hey, we can slow things down by putting a turret and stuff over here.
Base is under attack.
Wow, one single ghost, man. That's pretty rough. Ah! Well, most of my Marines were in here, but now they are, so go fuck yourself.
Our weapons are down. It's time to go back.
Yeah, we lost 25 Marines, exactly the amount of Marines I had before, actually. Some fucking trivia there for you. We need 9 more Liberators at the amount that we had before, but I don't think that's particularly important. Yeah, we should be able to get this area taken care of anyways. Once we get into that area, it's pretty trivial to burp.
I return.
Hyperion inbound.
Oh, he's going over here again.
You still haven't won mission. You taken out a small portion of the... There's some weird messed up shit going on with the Fog of War, that's for sure. On the minimap.
That's because it's like shining a lens flare on your minimap because there weren't enough before.
Need something liberated?
Oh, okay.
Say again? Got freedom?
Protect them.
Oh, there's a battlecruiser icon on the minimap. It's like impossible to see. They're so bad with icons in this game. Holy shit. So
by the way,
the key to the end of all things.
Yeah, just like everything else. As you can see, they melt through everything. They're not even mining over here.
Looks like 4 SCVs repairing the command center.
Check out my fucking random ships out of nowhere. Oh,
Base is under attack.
oh no. My base is under attack. I'm sure they're fine.
Ready another attack. We've already taken too long.
Exposed weakness.
Exposed weakness.
That's all we can take. Heading back for now.
10,000 health, by the way.
Confirm that last. So you fought your way here. You're a good soldier, Nova. But so am I.
Nova, the Xanthos is transforming. This combat mode was classified.
It's actually insane that we've gotten this far in one push. Really exposes how fucking weak their map design is. If you know what I'm saying. That's the only weakness I see over here.
You gotta start playing that metal music because this is so epic, because it's such an epic campaign for epic gamers.
Commander, yes, sir. We read you. How can we help? I'm reading you.
How do you feel about this epic combat mode?
They didn't even change it hardly. Or did they change it at all?
As an indicator.
Oh, there's an indicator. That's epic. Oh, that looks great. Love indicators. So epic.
Send in the
Is this-
reserve. This ghost will fight us to the end.
And gotta love these indicators.
This is what they made the final fight?
Yeah.
This is as embarrassing as Space Marine.
Yeah, it's dead. And then it's in a different location entirely. Now it's back where it was home. Oh.
Yeah.
However, the communications channels are chaotic. She hasn't spoken since the crash.
She just comically walks up with its stupid walk cycle.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the animations down below, they're gyrating. I thought that was actually a Zerg thing or something at first because it was so insane. Oh, and then it just freezes and lights on fire. Well, fire is a strong word for what that is. Ah!
I knew your family when you were a child. We were all part of the same circles back then. The same.
Let me listen to some monologues. Oh, that looked epic.
Davis should be just ahead. She seems to be alone.
Good. I have made mistakes, and I will pay for them.
She's not alone. There was Marines in there.
You think you're going to do the right.
They ran away.
What you don't realize is that if you do this, you are no better than I am. Think on that before you act. I will say no more. En route.
I will say no more. And it
Teleports behind you.
nothing personnel, kid.
Too bad I couldn't call down a nuke on her instead. That would have been funnier. Oh, I only killed 600 enemy units. It felt like I killed way more.
That's because you were stuck in that mission for 50 fucking minutes.
Isn't that a epic?
Not including the reattempts.
I know you're there, Nova.
What, you have eyes?
You deliberately disobeyed the Emperor's orders. But then I knew
Loud as
that
fuck
he was the Emperor.
bolt action rifle in the future.
The Crown Prince.
For a stealth op.
His artifacts. I joined his Mobius Foundation dreaming that I'd invent things to astound the sector. Instead, I destroyed my career. This is the only life I have left. The same as you.
Yes, a decloaking lens flare flash blue. Kiss kiss.
The crew is loyal to you alone, Nova. We will go.
Dude, there's so much clipping on his suit.
Yeah.
Problems. They'll need us to solve them. Our own way.
Lens flares.
Strobe lights.
And finally, an update on the attempted coup by the Defenders of Man. Tensions have subsided in the Dominion after Emperor Valerian regained control of the government and released all of the related evidence in a public report. Our polls show that most people feel the Emperor was justified in using lethal force against General Davis, given the danger she presented.
What should we
His
do
eyelids are
about
fucked up when he blinks.
His everything is fucked up.
Let her go. For now.
That door is fucked.
Don't look at it.
Oh.
Oh, don't look at this either. Just close your eyes. Oh, Nigel's smile. It'll carry you through the lens flares. Oh, at least the lens flare vanished this time.
I was expecting it to flicker somewhere.
Alright, here's some more text.
To all campaigners and you're quite right.
StarCraft 2 has been a labor of love, you wouldn't know. Jim, by loyalty and support for our players, again, you wouldn't know. Thank you for pushing us to new heights. You mean the bottom of the barrel? And joining us this unforgettable journey. Yeah. Yeah, this was unforgettable. It sure was. Unforgettably bad. You managed to insult pretty much every single person in your entire user base. I'd say that was quite the accomplishment, huh?
From where I come from, let's just say talk shit, get hit.
Huff Jankum get high. They claim to have leadership. I'm
No.
I'm astounded. They
Dustin
say
Browder.
Samwise is the art director, but pretty much none of the art assets in the game reflects
Dude,
his concept art at all.
The
So
fucking credits are jittering.
yeah.
No, not yeah. This is fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that was disgusting.
This is basically the final final act of single player content for StarCraft 2. Everything else has been poured into co-op.
I hope that StarCraft 2 never sees any more of these insults levied against its legacy.
Of the Void.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Metzen. I think I may have missed him.
You can't miss him, man. You can feel the razor blades on your wrists even now. This game is bad. This is such a bad fucking game.
I just don't understand the kind of person who finishes this and feels satisfied. Looking at these credits, they're like, oh, this was such a cool...
In all likelihood, whoever put these together had never actually seen these played. I mean, you can tell that much just by how buggy...
No, I just mean the people who play them. Not like the people who are making them. I don't
think
understand the
play
people who make
this.
them either.
Like,
but-
people don't play this. That's for sure.
Well, I don't know, man. It's fucked. All these names. And it all amounts
Anyone
to
remotely
suffering.
associated with a company. This was just the work from one intern slapping shit together and cat bashing as he went at best. On a time budget of about a day or two. So what did he do? He copy-pasted everything from Legacy of the Void, it tinted the colors a little bit, threw on some glazes, called it finished. And this is something they actually sold for real money, which is terrible. And all these developers have to say at the end, thanks for your support. And we love everything, and we're all gamers too. They always got to assert that. Because you wouldn't think coming through this that was the case. So they've got to try to convince you with that text. Even though you just played something that was mostly moving through corridors, killing things that didn't even try to move or fight back in any shape or fashion. Kind of like the rest of the game. I don't know. I didn't think that we could get worse after Legacy of the Void, but I actually do think that this manages to get just a little bit worse. You know how they say like a PhD is just pushing that envelope just a little bit further? This is like the PhD of incompetence in game design.
Todd and Tony in one shot sequentially. My life is a simulation.
This is such an embarrassing title.
Oh.
How could you release this and not, like, issue a public apology and immediately pull it?
There, it'll scroll faster now.
This is
giving me a headache, actually.
like, there is not a single part of this entire experience that was correct. Like, they called it covert ops. There was not a single fucking thing in this entire game that was covert. There was no black ops, spy-related themes about any of it. All the political aspects were just like a stretch that even Goatsy would blush at. The Protoss were so inconsequential and so entirely meaningless in all their involvement.
Mm-hmm.
None of the Zerg shit made any sense at all. Nova is the most fucking one-dimensional character in existence. Nigel is so fucking deadpan and boring as hell. There was not a single fucking part about any of the writing or direction in this that had a single quality assurance person actually look at it. Nobody would fucking gold light this.
I don't know about Gold Light, but I sure heard Gold Wave.
The audio processing and voice acting was so bad in all of them. It actually manages to even be worse than Legacy of the Void, which is quite an accomplishment.
It's like returning characters have worse
Because they're so uninterested.
Yeah.
Like basically, the thing about these returning characters is Blizzard's basically willing to do anything to get them because they know that marketing is the only thing this game survives on. So they end up paying them these exorbitant amount of fees, and they realize they don't have to actually put in any effort. Blizzard just wants their name on the credits, and that's it. So because they're not actually pressured to attempt anything, they're not going to produce any good results. And it shows. It fucking shows.
I just can't imagine the
It's really just hard to process the sheer sterility of this product and just how absolutely soulless it is.
It's not even anything burning. It's burnt away.
You can't claim to have a labor of love in an RTS when you literally didn't deliver a single RTS mission in a fucking 90 whatever mission campaign. You had some things that had some semblance of an RTS, but you always run away from the responsibility of making an RTS experience for an RTS. Regardless of the quality of StarCraft 2 as a game, which may be very low, that doesn't mean you get to tap out of having to make an RTS experience in single player. Because you opted to do so just shows that you just don't care. That's really what comes out of this, is just the brazenness of Blizzard in demonstrating that they just don't care. And how the few choose to ignore Blizzard's own declaration and think they still care, in spite of Blizzard themselves saying we don't care.
I think it's really telling that not only did they not deliver an RTS experience in any of the missions, but they also didn't actually provide you with a solid alternative.
They didn't even give you any micro missions. I thought that's what this is going to be about. I thought this is going to be like a MOBA kind of thing, but without the towers and the minions and shit. And you didn't even get that. You didn't have a single fucking hero-based gameplay sequence in this entire thing.
It was just
none
this
of your
weird-
abilities required even the most remote cranial fucking engagement to use.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing, not a single redeeming quality about this entire fucking product. And it's not hard. Their own company has done it in Blizzard Dota. And that has Browder on it. If Browder can do it, anyone can fucking do it. Unless you just decide you don't want to, which was the case here.
Well, the other really frustrating thing about this whole ordeal is that they didn't provide an alternative to Blizzard Dota. They didn't provide an alternative to an RTS. They, like, over-engineered a bunch of half-baked concepts. Like, it sounds counterintuitive to say that they're over-engineered and not... and half-baked, but it's because nothing was... There was no QA at any point, right? So there's no vetting to determine if the concept is even good or not before you even putting it into the game, let alone feel how it is after testing, because that's work. Like, under normal circumstances, you can look at a game and imagine what a prototype would have looked like. But I can't imagine what prototypes would have looked like for these maps. They seem like prototypes themselves.
These are prototypes. That's what these are.
Yeah.
They don't have functional AI. They don't have functional triggers. They don't have functional object. They don't have functional anything.
Yeah, clearly non-functional cutscenes as well. With
Like,
all
if
the
you
fucking
don't
bugs.
have content, you can't argue if the content is functional or not, because there is no content. There's nothing there to make functional. There's nothing there to complete. Having a bunch of units idle on the map, occasionally spawning stuff to the triggers and shit, anybody can fucking do that in under an hour. None of these maps took under an hour or over an hour to make. They were all under an hour, every single last one of them. It probably took more time to phone in the fucking voice samples and run your gold web filters than it took to actually make this fucking campaign. It was like literally when you were going through that compound, all those voice lines are the exact same trigger that's like on a timer or some other condition that just cycles through a set of lines and that's it. Like, there was literally not even the slightest shred of an effort, not even the hint of an intent to make an effort to actually tie any dialogue to any event at all in that mission. Everything else is literally just stuff appearing and fucking waypointing into you. If even. I don't think they even used waypoints in this. That weird-ass behavior in that last mission where they kept dropping hate and leashing back, that's not normal behavior for triggered attack waves in this. That is like some kind of fucking perpetual trigger that keeps resetting their target to the nearest or something.
Is there a reason why I'm idling in a
shit.
wallpaper?
I guarantee you that the reason they don't let you have access to these maps in this editor is not because they're afraid of people pirating them because they have no monetary value, but because people realize how fucking horribly done these maps. It's the same reason that Camelot Systems and everyone else didn't want people to have source code for their programs, and they cited security concerns at 1 or 2 points. Nobody gave a fuck about security. You're reverse engineering something. You don't even have the slightest hint of a moral ground to claim about security shit all. It's all because they knew they would get called out for being bad.
Do you think it would actually have taken them more effort to do what they did? Like, do you think it took more effort for them to do what they did with all this over-engineered bullshit than it would have to just make a functioning RTS?
Nope. It's not hard to make function. The thing is like I mentioned before, Blizzard has melee AI in this game. Yes, it's an over-engineered heaping pile of shit, but it has stuff in it you need to have in a single-player experience. For example, the ability to defend itself. You don't have access to these defense waves and triggers. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can kind of try to access some features of them and maybe do something with them. Half of them are locked behind hardcode, though, so if you're only working from Galaxy, chances are you actually have no idea how any of this shit works, because Blizzard doesn't document anything, not even for themselves. And
yeah, but I mean, by the same metric, this is all an internal product. I mean, this isn't a fan project, despite the experience that we had. So we can't really judge it the same way we were talking about Antioch and everything else, where we were saying, as the responsibilities of just a hobbyist developer making, some amateurs making a project. It has nothing to there's no translation between that and this. This is like they actually have access to the vast, like the maximum amount of information you could possibly have access to as people who are working within the company that this title is developed for. You know, unless they outsource this to NetEase or something. I don't know, man. What could possibly have, like, this actually feels like a junior developer.
Looks better than the products that Blizzard makes. So
yeah, so
NetEase is better at making Diablo than Blizzard is, and that was the case with Condor as well.
Well, at least visually, I haven't seen any gameplay. But
well,
there is no gameplay in Diablo 3.
At the very least, they can fucking throw darts at a dartboard and they'll end up with better than Diablo 3.
Yeah.
The thing is that in an ideal corporate environment, you're budgeted time and resources, and if you're making a single player project, you've already been said that, hey, we're making a campaign for an RTS, so it's going to be about an RTS, and you know, we need to have our accessibility features, the difficulties and other garbage, and then we got to have this features in this map, it's got to be featured about this character, this units, we have this content, yada yada yada. But when actually doing the game designs, if you need something, you talk to the individuals who are actually responsible for implementing this in the game. For example, in StarCraft 2, in an ideal situation, the people who are leading the map division would be like, hey guys making AI, can you, like, make the AI not an over-engineered piece of shit so we can integrate it with our maps and take use of the work you've done so we don't have to reinvent the wheel? But in Blizzard land, everybody is segregated into tiny hyper-specialized packs where nobody actually talks together. Nobody ever communicates. So StarCraft 2 has this AI framework, which is a heaping pile of shit, but it can work, and it has many of the features they want. They don't use it. They don't use it ever. That's why it's all down to just spawning stuff and then waypointing it at you, and why we have oceans and oceans of shit just standing around. They don't actually have the means to make use of those. If they wanted to make use of them like an RTS, they're going to end up doing it through triggers, like they've tried to simulate and fake at specific points. And it looks fake as fuck because they're only allotted about 30 minutes a mission. And it is not possible to make functional AI through triggers in this game and perform well within 30 minutes. You're not going to do it, no matter how good you are.
Well, that's the other frustrating thing about this is that the act of pre-placing all of this garbage instead of and setting up all the bullies and stuff to be like really, really specific, like timed out or whatever, and then to have all of these waves that are like triggered into spawn, and then the waves that are triggered into like reappear as defense or whatever for like well, I guess they probably weren't even triggered into spawn, they were just pre-placed and then ordered to move in when you reached a certain area. Like the act of doing all that stuff for these scripted events is way more effort than it would take to just configure the AI to defend with X and attack with Y, and you know, if you had a reasonable AI
if you
to
have
work
a framework
with.
set up like we currently do and we've had for years, all you write out for the AI, it is actually significantly less work than Brood War, because the attack handling and stuff like that is all its own thing. That's all handled in its own way. Even though none of us had any idea what we were doing with Galaxy whatsoever, and Galaxy is so incredibly limited, we don't have access to source.
They just anti-oct us.
And all this other shit. You know, the thing is that we still have an AI where you can just walk in. The triggers are limited to like 3 actions just on a timer that says, we do a build switch at this point. We do a build switch at that point. You know, just timed out our build switches. And then that references some Galaxy code in the Melee AI, which has 20, 15, 30 lines maximum. And that just says, hey, you built this, 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 this in this order, or whatever. Now, the entire system is fucked as hell. And stock is busted, and the Melee AI is horrible. But once you gut out the looping stock, you gain back about 40 FPS. You've got defense function. You got access to ways to manipulate their attack wave handling within region. You just exploded?
No,
you went there.
No, it was just idling me there for like 20 minutes, so I had escaped.
Oh, I see. You got anti-oct. So
that's not even what I was talking about with getting anti-oct. The screen, that idle thing like reset, snapped back to
I have it on my
position.
secondary, so I wasn't
looking
at. I was looking at this AI we have here, and the thing about this AI is like, so I've got a map that's gonna have the AI bunker rush you, and then tech up to tanks and try to contain you. So I've got some bullies. I can take advantage of bullies with this. That's all I really need to do is I run the Melee AI and I issue some commands in the regions for bullies, and I haven't done it forever, but I suspect it'll take me maybe an hour to write the whole fucking thing from scratch. And then in order to tweak that, I just tweak the galaxy a little bit and maybe some timing. Rather than manually doing everything out, and then you know what? My AI is going to defend, my AI is going to expand, my AI is going to build its own base, my AI is going to do everything it normally does in an RTS to the limits of the existing AI framework. But since in Blizzard nobody ever communicated that anybody actually wanted to use the AI for anything, it was never actually completed. So what you ended up with was just this huge heaping pile of inefficient shit that tries to simulate player actions for some unknown to God reason at the cost of performance, an immense cost of performance. There's no way, the AI in StarCraft 2 is simpler than that in Brood War. It is capable of less, all the way until you hit tactical AI, which is independent anyways. And it is so much more performance heavy, it's just absolutely berserk. But the thing is you can still actually use that to make a campaign, and you can get a whole bunch of crap out of it, and the campaign maps are there's only like 8 units ever attacking you at a time anyway, so it's not like the performance really is going to matter that much. My tests were on like Brood War scale, so nobody would use that node. Nobody knew how to use it. Nobody in their staff communicated an intent to actually make an RTS. So they just went the route of being lazy as fuck. But ultimately, being lazy as fuck doesn't always result in less work, because you still have to make the AI units do something. And they don't really even do that very well. They couldn't even attack you properly in that last mission. That was just... I would love to look at the fucking triggers for that, because I bet it's a horrible disaster.
So one of the other interesting things about that last mission was actually it was one of the more straightforward missions we had, sans the gimmick. Like, looking at the layout, the AI actually take multiple paths to attack you, and there are multiple paths to attack them back. Obviously, the fact that they have
early on
the entire map at the first frame is really, really disgusting.
Early on, it was paced really well until you hit the
first two attacks are like, they're sizable and threatening and will destroy your base.
You have to use your hero to survive those.
Yeah, basically.
And so if you get really too aggressive and out of position, they really punish you hard. That pacing felt really good, but it immediately falls apart after that.
Right, because they refuse to attack while the mech, the giant Gundam, is attacking a Gorgon. They will not attack. They wait until you destroy it. So you're not even punished for taking a long time to destroy it.
Yeah.
For them to attack you, which would make sense. They don't even prepare and then wait. It's just it's always the same amount of time after the Gundam goes back home to repair is when they start to assemble their bullies or whatever they do, spawn, whatever it is, and then they go off. And so it gives you this illusion that you're going to be under pressure, and with the Gorgons being these objectives you can only indirectly affect, you can't tighten the defenses manually, you can't control those units or whatever. There's no real way for you to maneuver that, which really doesn't make any sense anyways, because I guess these Gorgons are supposed to be under construction or something. Maybe I missed some transmission where that characterized that. But whatever, you've got these 5, allied
they're supposed
things.
To be under repair. I assume that, mechanically speaking, is supposed to be from the fight against the Protoss, and they're being repaired. But if they maneuvered there to begin with, and it's being attacked, there should be a way to maneuver them away from being attacked.
Well, the other thing
not very fast.
I think the other thing that would have helped, if you're going to have a gimmick like that, I think one thing that would have helped sell the fantasy of having these Gorgons to begin with is to allow you to use them, if you keep them alive, then you get to use them when the Hyperion shows up to help out, or just nix the Hyperion altogether and have them be the thing.
The Hyperion was added in last minute.
Well, you could tell because it did nothing.
Contributes nothing.
If you leave it alone, it'll deal it'll kill one missile turret or something silly, so it's really, really goofy. The other issue is that I'm actually not sure if this is the case, but it seems like there's always an attack that comes from the direction that the Hyperion is attacking into. So maybe that was a read that I didn't realize, but maybe it's just coincidence as well. It's just it really is annoying because you're already going up against this massive block of shit, and then another spawned in or bullied in block of shit comes in to attack, and it's just adding it's pissing into your wounds. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to say about the whole thing. It's just it is very schizophrenic. You've got the idea that you're supposed to be doing covert ops, but then your final mission is just the same insane goofiness as everything else.
This is the kind of quality I expect out of random shit. If I was to go into SEN and download something out of SEN, this is what I would expect to say. Is just, slapstick voice acting, schizophrenic writing with no quality assurance, fucked ass graphics, fucked ass balance, really, really bad hero design. All the kind of stuff you expect from a hobbyist who's never made maps before and is just releasing something just for the fuck. It's like, hey, here's my alpha. I'm probably not going to finish it, but I may as well release it. Enjoy it or don't enjoy it, whatever. I don't care, but here it is. That's Nova Covert Ops. But this is a product that people paid for, and it's not what it's marketed as. It's not related to the product genre that it's released for. It's just shovelware. That's all StarCraft 2 is just shovelware. Every single fucking installation of this has been shovelware. The only thing even remotely resembling what it could have been was Wings of Liberty, and they spoiled that a lot too. But, you would have hoped that they would have learned from that, but they didn't, because they keep firing interns so they don't have to pay them, and then we end up with this. And this is horrible.
Yeah, I think even irrespective of any backroom politics or the understanding of what's going on behind the scenes developmentally, it already paints a really, really nasty picture that this is the end product we're playing. But when you look into the stuff that goes on with their hiring practices and their insane lack of communication between departments and all this other stuff that we've been referencing throughout our playtimes. At the end of the day,
you can only hypothesize so much, but the thing is the end product's a heaping pile of shit. The only reason why you're hypothesizing or researching this stuff to begin with is you're trying to reason why it's such a heaping pile of shit. At the end of the day, the only thing the end user needs to care about is the fact that it is a heaping pile of shit. Sometimes it's interesting to research the hows and whys because you can learn from it. Sometimes you're right and wrong or whatever and what you find. But the thing is it's a heaping pile of shit. And no matter what, that's just objective. Like, that's just what the demonstrations and what the presentation show you is, this was garbage. This was awful. And you can spend years trying to figure out, where all the fucking money and time and whatever went and the hows and whys that it got fucked over. But the bottom line is it's a heaping pile of shit. The product's bad. It's like the fucking, that new God of War that came out. How does this huge publicity stunt about how the developer is crying because people are making fun? It was literally, well, people are ridiculing me for making a bad game. And then you have all these show websites gobbling up and being like, people are so mean to game developers. It's like they're just trying to find that way out for releasing a bad game that even casuals thought was bad. So they always try to deflect it to somewhere else. Like people being racist or misogynistic or entitled or whatever fucking buzzword of the day. The bottom line is, it's a bad product. And people know it's a bad product. And this is a God of War franchise. It never had a good product. And it's that fucking bad compared to the others. To the point that people that liked fucking QuickTime events and other mindless, untested shit didn't like it anyways. And someone in your chat linked a NeoGAF fucking thread. That's disgusting.
Really ties it all together. Oh, man. I mean, the thing is, like, I've spoke a little bit briefly about it before, but the responsibilities of a developer, of especially of Blizzard's clout and size, especially clout, like looking at their fucking logo and like the adoration that these mongoloids somehow receive without ever deserving it, is you really look at their product and they are severely slacking off. Like, they are doing nothing with what they're like, commensurate to their budget, commensurate to their what's the term, alleged talent and like pride in their work and idea that Blizzard polish
is.
Yeah, it's all garbage though. It's all that's
right
what I mean.
Now you have a huge wave of that.
Yeah,
like look all around you. Fallout 69, Red Dead Redemption 2. The parent company for Overkill, who made Payday 2 and Payday 1, and they shot all over Payday 2 with DLC and all this other shit. All these fucking companies, and then those people that made those stupid fucking Minecraft story mode games, all these companies are getting slammed back to back to back. EA saying if you don't like your game, don't buy it, and acting surprised when it backfires in their fucking face.
Well, I think they were celebrating that, actually.
And then Diablo Immortal, like all this shit, back to back to back to back. People are starting to realize, wait a second, all these developers are shit.
Yeah.
And how long have these logos all been around? Blizzard, and they're being dissolved somewhat and integrated into Vivendi gaming division, which was then sold to Ass Invasion, but then Vivendi still holds majority share. Like all this fucking, legworks around the business. The thing is all these companies basically come from the same sort of sources, like what was it, IJN or LJN and THQ, like all these shitty fucking things like Atari and stuff like that. They all have these same roots, and they all somehow manage to endure over years and years and years, decades and decades and decades, despite only ever producing shit, and very, very rarely stumbling across something that's at least decent, like Brood War, but pretty much 9 times out of 10 producing shit. And they just keep surviving, even though when you look at the games industry and you go to ArtStation, you go to even DeviantArt, you go to any of these places, you find so many fucking people who can make good art. Like just as an example, make art. Like models or concept art or load screens or sounds. All these people that don't actually have jobs because it is so fucking congested. There's so many countless people who want to become a part of the games industry and make games, because making games is fun, because I'm a gamer. And they come out of fucking college with their assholes wide enough to fit in a fucking basketball, because American college is about putting people in debt and getting that cycle going. But hey, they walked out they knew how to model and texture. And they sure as fucking do it a lot better than what Blizzard did. So then you have the people that do have jobs, who in all likelihood did at some point before commercialization eroded their skills, possess the ability to make something good. Like StarCraft 2 has good concept art in some spaces. And like I said, it gets totally thrown out the window when it comes to making the in-game assets, because nobody fucking cares about the concept art apparently. And
that's just the lack of communication between departments, right? Like you've got,
And
I'm
the
sure there
lack
was
of
some serious
leadership.
concepts for the levels at some point, right? I'm sure somebody had some level design that wasn't cancerous, that wasn't gimmick infested. Well, I guess I can't be sure, but I hope. And that stuff that's a little bit less definitive.
Let's take the editor, for example. Let's take the editor, for example. I know for a fact, because I know the person who submitted user interface concepts, and he was a part of the editor staff, and he submitted these concepts to people in charge, and I gave them a look over, and I gave them the green light, and who knows, maybe other people did too, and they were good, and they were, infinitely superior to what we currently got. I know for a fact that was entirely ignored. And this was before beta, and this is before things get locked down and people say, hey, we can't change this anymore because it's already locked down, we've already invested time. This is before that, way before that. It still gets ignored. They don't care about people's input, not even from their own staff. This is why you enter that circle of some companies have testers, but they just get ignored.
Yeah, I was actually reading something about that not so long ago, and it seems like it's not just that they get ignored, it's worse than that, because the people who are developing it, who could use the feedback from the testers, are not actually usually able to communicate with the testers. Like the testers send their feedback through a different channel, and sometimes the developers don't even get to see that feedback. It's like it gets interpreted by a third party that decides whether or not to pass on certain feedbacks, instead of the developers just being able to look at the live playthrough or a recording or something like that. At the very least, you should be able to write your impressions down in a text file and hand it over to the guy. You can't even do that most of the time, apparently, like through official channels.
How does it have to be that happens?
Right, and that's like that seems to be common practice. Like people were saying that as QAs, like, because of course there's like the classic line is these people don't have any testers. But they do, and the testers are just fucking ignored. The QA is there, but not taken advantage of, and still spent money on. Like these people are paid to test, and they don't.
It's like the artists, man.
They're not. I mean, they are doing the work in a sense by playing it, and maybe even giving their feedback the way that they're meant to, the way that they were hired for. But they're not actually being used. It's like That's like telling a guy, hey, I'm going to pay you money, and the guy says, what's my job? And you tell him that it's to pour a glass of water into another glass and then do it back. There's no fucking point. You're literally like clawing at the walls half the time because there's nothing to do. You got to look busy. You got to pretend that you're doing something. That must be one of the most soulless, soul-sucking, soul-burning jobs imaginable, where you're just doing nothing you can do. You can't do anything to improve the products that you're even working on. That's insane to me, man. Like, as a fan of games too, because like these jobs are always marketed to people who are like, you like playing games, right? Imagine getting paid to play games, and then you're like, yeah, I care about games as a hobby and as an industry. I want to help improve the quality, and I've played games with bugs. I don't want those games to have those kinds of bugs, especially if they're really obvious, and I find them on my first playthrough of a released product. So I'm gonna play these games, and I understand that they're probably gonna be buggy because, of course, I'm playtesting them. And I'm gonna help you guys resolve those bugs, and then they play the launch title and they still see the same problems. Like, that must be so infuriating. I can't imagine that one, man. And I already am playtesting released products half the time anyways. But at the very least, I don't playtest under the assumption that my test is going to result in an improvement of the base product because, of course, it's released already and they already have your money. Whereas in the case of your job description is testing. And you don't actually get to QA anything.
See, what testing usually does is you try to do all the abnormal things. You try to intentionally break stuff. It's all about going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Unit testing, repeating, finding each little individual instance of how something can break, and then document it. And so you think of it as a very exhaustive, very rigorous, very intense task, and very time consuming, and you oftentimes have to constantly return to things in iteration. That's how it's supposed to work. It's called unit testing.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to work. But people don't do that. See, the thing is, if people had this kind of exhaustive testing, we wouldn't have things like that fucked ass collision on that ramp, because you would presume that people testing this are at least familiar with how this stuff is put together. They may not be like actual artists or actual programmers, but they know superficially how this stuff is put together in the game engine. They've used the editor, they've looked at the pathing system, they understand that doodads and stuff are all based on spherical collision. You need to manually paint pathing so the stuff doesn't happen. They know to look for this stuff to find it so they can report it. But then again, in the end product, so many years after release, this still fucking happens. We still have right in your fucking face busted ass pathing, Z fighting, stuff stacked on top of each other, all this super obvious shit.
Yeah, and 99% of the stuff, like that stair thing was something that I accidentally stumbled upon in my last playthrough of this. Whereas, like, this time, obviously, I sought it out to see if it had been fixed and showed it, like, demonstrated it that was there. Like, I sort of sought it out in that case. Half the others, like, I guess everything else, really, just broke in front of us or was fucked in front of us in plain view. It wasn't something that we sought out and did science on. It was just shit. It was like that fucking lens flare in the middle of the cutscene. Like, it's just insane. Yep. Like, this is stuff that, again, people just test and see. But there's also these weird oddities, like the battlecruiser warp glaze or whatever that was being team colored now, and I guess that's because of team games or something where battlecruisers have that ability in Melee, that they wanted to make sure that is readable in some way. So I understand that it would be changed, but not for fucking campaigns. Why don't you freeze your versions?
Well, the thing is they do. They have separate melee and campaign versions. So they've actually tainted the campaign version of the files with that.
Yeah, that's right. They do have separate dependencies.
This is the amazing thing about StarCraft 2. So StarCraft 2 is modular. That's how the dependencies work.
Right.
And so, say for example, I want to make a map. I can load the Wings of Liberty instead of Legacy of the Void or Heat of the Swarm. So since the modules can be stacked on top of each other in a priority, that means that you innately have a system that could actually support real mods.
Well,
as opposed to not.
I'm going to stop you right there because I don't know if you know this. When you load the Legacy of the Void dependency, for example, to take advantage of the latest art assets or whatever, it automatically sets certain global things to whatever Legacy of the Void corresponds to. So, for example, your text scroll will be Protoss. You can't change this without loading a different race, like different campaign, like Heart of the Swarm dependency or Wings of Liberty. There is one way you can change it by going into like a text editor or something, like a text editor part of the editor, but I don't remember how it's done, and it's probably been patched out since because it was actually an exploit. So, yeah, people were saying, like, that's why we have all these fan projects, which obviously you haven't seen very many of them, where like the text won't actually have the proper text scrolling.
You know, I have seen that in my thing, and I've wondered about that.
Yeah, so if you're using Legacy of the Void's dependency and you're trying to make a Terran campaign, it's going to be Protoss text scrolling.
Wow.
And that's not like an easily changeable behavior that's just like in a trigger or something, like you would think it would be, where you just, oh, what kind of text scroll do I want that's built in, or make my own, or whatever. No, it's built into the dependency, so it's a little bit extra bit there for you.
Wow.
That's about as bad as Oros being Tassadar, so there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty okay. Well, barring stupidity like that, like obviously that's just people not knowing how their own engine works, because it's like out of the box as a framework, StarCraft 2 supports mods. Like the whole system was built around being modular. It was like whoever designed to make the data dependency structure acknowledged that they wanted a system like Sins of a Solar Empire or Dawn of War or Supreme Commander, or any of these other games that actually support mods as opposed to StarCraft 2, which doesn't have any mods at all. Because that's how the dependency system works. So, another example is Blizzard Dota uses that same system to control versions for old replays. So you can load older versions, except they broke that with the Kel-Dazad patch, and you no longer can old replays older than the Kel-Dazad patch. I had a Blizzard response that they'd look into it. They never did, of course. And because at some point they deleted stuff or their middleware changed or something like that, and it completely snapped everything in half. But like you have these folders and stuff that actually contain the executables and DLLs and you know any relevant data that changed with every single version. So like that's how this system works. But then you get Blizzard changing stuff that all these dependencies get hooked on, and then everything gets completely fucked up. And like the player colors for the battlecruiser or whatever, or like Raven changes or other stuff that should be multiplayer only, now taints the campaign files because of some reason, I don't know. That's some fucking Django hopscotch they got going on there. And then, yeah, like that's how their engine worked. But now that they decided not to use that for custom content, probably because it was always their intent to push the DLC engine. I mean, the marketplace was a given, and if people can just locally download stuff, then obviously you can produce a campaign of far greater quality than anything that could ever be released on an online service behind a size limit, much less a censorship limit that Blizzard has. But yeah, like the whole system was built by people who had an entirely different mindset behind what they wanted to create than the people who actually used that system there afterwards. It's probably just middleware all in itself, or it's maybe something recovered from Blizzard North, or maybe it's literally like 7 years old like they claimed, because obviously the final product was not given 7 years development time at all. And like StarCraft 2 is so weird. And then they used XML, one of the most over-engineered, ugly fucking formats imaginable for the data, after the disaster of Warcraft 3, which should have taught them not to use fucking shit like that for this, and just stick to something that even interns can do correctly. It's not this huge mass of text and everything. And they made the game through XML. They didn't use the editor. Well, maybe they made like Nova and stuff in the editor because it was interns and not the original developers. But the original developers used XML because the editor doesn't support stuff like, you know, there was a couple of things from the terrain. The text UV set is one of them, but there's a bunch of stuff in it that just doesn't actually exist in the editor, and obviously the editor is slow as fuck, and XML is so much faster, provided you actually know the structure. And yeah, the UI of the data editor, nobody made a fucking product in that. It don't matter what their skill level was, nobody would endure that, even despite Blizzard's history of terrible tools in their own words. Nobody used that data editor. It was very, very last minute, compiled off of a net library. And yeah, at the end of the day, you have this, and it's an embarrassment.
I got a shit. So
I heard that the only thing that's redeeming about StarCraft 2 is co-op, but I think the only reason people say that is because it's one of the only co-op experiences in existence.
Yeah, at some point, if you actually want to still suffer, I can show you like one or two commanders of that or whatever, but It's misery. I mean, we can just quickly look at, for example, Zeratul. He's the latest released commander. So his units are all Xel'Naga, but they're just reskins. Oh, and he's got Void Templar.
Void.
But, you know, they're just the same shit. Actually, I think the Void Array is a reskin of the shuttle from HOTS. And the Abrogator is a reskin of the Disruptor. Watch is obviously Observer. Enforcer is Immortal. Void Templar is Dark Templar. Shield Guard is Sentry. Ambusher is Stalker. So he's supposed to be like using Void and Xel'Naga units for whatever reason. And yet he's still just using these shitty reskins that are probably going to go into some DLC pack or a loot crate that they rolled in. We've got upgrades. Power of the Xel'Naga. Zeratul has 100 starting supply, and his units have increased life and damage. Buildings do not require pylon power, and units cannot be warped directly onto the battlefield. Zeratul's Ancient Nexus can automatically construct ancient assimilators.
Ancient.
So I don't really know. I haven't played this guy, but just looking at this, you've got the idea that his assimilators are auto-cast, so they're auto-built. They automated that. His units cannot be warped directly onto the battlefield. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's him saying like he doesn't have access to warp gates or something. And then 100 starting supply. That means that I don't know if that's max as well, but that means that he doesn't actually need to build pylons until he gets to 100 starting or 100 supply. Like he has 100 supply from the first frame of the map. That's what that means. So this is like just the first thing that you see. In fact, I think he has like a little play preview. Here you go. Seek out Xel'Naga artifact fragments.
They recolored that Void thing.
So collect them to power up. Call in legendary Protoss legions. By the way, you can't control these. Customize your top bar.
It has a dash in it.
Summon ultimate Xel'Naga constructs. Those didn't have a birth model.
That looked like shit.
Wow.
That's intense.
That was
They
disgusting.
didn't even bother to give those custom weapons.
So let's compare that to Raynor. Call down the Hyperion.
These videos are so fucking badly compressed.
Yes.
And those fucking lasers don't have muzzle flashes, and they just seem to come out of nowhere.
Come out of his ass. Warp across the battlefield. I don't know what kind of debug map this is, but it looks about as engaging as the base game.
This is the exact same thing as their campaign. Stand around and do nothing.
That was really all they showed of him? Well, he has a base. Maybe they go into more detail with Art Anus. Strike with orbital abilities. So these don't pause the game in this case.
Oh, I mean, so they're like what they should have been.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they didn't just do that normally. Shield your allies. I like how they show the Marines shielded, but they're never in a position to take damage. Alright, well that's all he has too. I guess. I don't know what's up with these. I think the other ones are a little bit more involved. Call in the fleet. Wow, that looks good.
That looks good. Looking good. Oh, I bet you that cripples your fucking computer. You can see the video lagging. I think that's why they cut so fast. Because those lights will destroy you.
Oh yeah, I think they took that from Red Alert. So
the whole thing is from Red Alert and Generals. Brother really tried to push the we gotta show up EA thing, seeing as EA hasn't even made a Command and Conquer game for.
I still think these aren't really doing the experience justice, but I'm not playing them.
No.
So let's take a look
they're
at
just build and destroy with fucking random abilities thrown in.
I would
like.
It's not really build and destroy. Here's the thing. Take a look at these mutations. So this is a thing called custom mutators. I don't know how to do it. How do I? Hello? Create your own mutator challenges.
Hello?
Yeah. How would I go about selecting these? I can't even ready. What? Not enough players in your party. I can't solo queue with those, I guess. All right, anyways, if we take a look at these ones, these are mutators. These are supposed to be like more, make it tougher for you, and they give you more experience towards ranking up. So here we have self-destruction. Enemy units explode and deal damage to nearby player units upon death. So it turns every unit into butter, your favorite. Void reanimators wander the battlefield, bringing your enemies back to life. Lava burst. Lava periodically bursts from the ground at random locations and deals damage to player, air, and ground units. So this is
all of this is just inject more RNG.
Yeah, so it's more RNG. It's also just more insane shit. Oh man, that looks so bad. And it's not actually like, oh, your enemies use different unit compositions, or like it's not engaging you with the enemy. I mean, all of their, it's not like in StarCraft 2's campaign where sometimes the enemies are spawned in and other times they're bullied in. Every single wave is spawned in. You can, and often do because it's so easy, destroy enemy bases in this, but they're not the source of units. Like beyond bullies to just sit around in their base. They're not the source of attacks. So destroying them has no value. And it's always expand once and that's how you win. It's every single mission.
That's not surprising at all.
And the maps are all retarded as well. So again, maybe we'll hop into that at a later date, but this is where they're taking StarCraft. This is where all of the development is going into for StarCraft 2. And I use development with
all
heavy
the
quotations.
one intern.
So that's really the legacy of the StarCraft 2. Really. But I wasn't kidding when I said I had to shit. So any final words to leave us with?
I don't think the co-op thing, like as a concept, is necessarily a bad idea because, like I said, there's nothing really competing with it. I guess Red Alert 3, the best RTS, is competing with it, but that's kind of it. So there is definitely like a market for co-op stuff, but you know, I think a better approach would have been to have an RTS campaign and make that co-opable instead, rather than gimmick missions that were recycled from a campaign that's not even an RTS. But I mean, if you're so desperate for fucking co-op stuff, then you know, sometimes you're really willing to dig into the gutter to find co-op because there really isn't just that many co-op games in general anymore. They're not really a big thing these days. So,
well, there isn't. Actually, it's funny that you say that because obviously I'm in the middle of, at this time, I'm in the middle of developing my own co-op project. But it was not really, like, it's not expressly because I wanted to have a co-op experience. It was more so like
just a feature bullet point.
Well, I wanted to have I wanted to have a larger scale, and so even if you play it in single player, you just have an AI ally that takes over your player, the empty player slot that would be your co-op ally. So it's just about like creating an actual RTS experience with large scale battles and team play and stuff. And so that was like the whole reason why I wanted it, is because I did you know, it's nice to be able to play with a second player if you have the luxury of people who are interested in actual RTS experiences. And it did seem to, you know, interest some people that like joined the server just to see if they could find games or whatever, which is cool. But that was really just secondary. Ultimately, I wanted to have like a holistic experience within itself, beginning to end, being an RTS, because there's nothing like that. So that was like the source of basically everything I've ever made, is because nobody's making the stuff that I want to play, so I got to make it myself. And obviously, I also respect the craft of making an RTS to begin with, and I respect games as a medium enough to want to actually do right by them instead of all this shovelware that people keep throwing out, which is really annoying. Obviously, it goes back to like the whole tester's dilemma, where you're like, if you care about the medium, you care about interactive media, and you want to like contribute towards its improvement, you'd think that being QA would be the way to go. But I think it's actually your best bet is to be like an independent amateur developer or something, because then you can QA your own stuff and you don't have to suffer to, you know, pouring water back between two glasses your entire existence.
Yeah, so I can definitely understand why so many people hate game development. So many people go in there all doe-eyed thinking they're going to make games, and they're really just a marketer's bitch. That's what it is. That's what game development is. That's how these companies have stayed alive for so long. That's what keeps their... I won't be able to think of the name when I'm fucking tired and brain damaged right now, but... The, phylactery. Yeah. The unliving companies that seem to have this bottomless well of money with which to just lose over and over and over and over again, and all the laws and abuse that they manage to skirt off of to survive, especially in the West. And, you know, THQ, IGN, LGN, whatever it was, and Atari and Vivendi and Blizzard, they just are these inhuman abominations that should have been shut down so many years ago just for consumer protection.
Describes Stukov pretty well.
They still fucking survive today, just brazenly disrespecting people, all the company, all of them, all across the board. Like I said, you got all these fucking companies doing the exact same dumb fucking shit, and it is so comical seeing it back to back to back over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I remember back when, like, where Blizzard actually literally had someone say, "Do you really want chat channels?" Like, surely you remember that fiasco.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, "Don't you guys have phones?" Like, they literally, like, that is what they think. That is what these fucking people actually think.
Well, yeah, because they're not
Like, that's
actually
their gut
involved.
reflex. That's the most honest response you've ever seen from this company, is when you get people on the stage who actually respond to people directly. That's the honest, like that's past the marketer fucking Prozac fueled smile. That's literally what they think.
Yeah.
Like, that's their gut reflex when people boo them for shilling a Chinese game under their name that nobody wanted, that's for a platform nobody fucking cares about. Their gut reflex, their honest reflex, is to say, "Don't you own a phone?" Like, that is what they actually think.
Well, I mean,
it's not some marketer drivel.
Yeah.
That is actually what they think.
It's obviously not marketer approved as a response.
Yeah.
And
look at the damage control they've had to reel in afterwards. Deleting videos, deleting downvotes, banning people in this non-stop charade, running the shill machines to blame misogyny and all this other fucking scapegoat buzzword shit that normies may or may not believe in at some point, just to try to deflect from somebody actually speaking their honest mind. Because that is literally what they think in this company. That is actually what they think of people, is they think, you know, people own phones, so they're going to buy this no matter what it is. And if they don't, well, it's not even on the table. Like, they can't even conceive that they wouldn't buy it. Because that's how fucking deluded they are. That's how detached from reality they are. And even the casuals can see that. And that brings us to the other titles. To EA, to the disaster that's Red Dead Redemption 2, to disaster that's Fallout, to all these other fucking games made off of franchises that never had any reason to exist whatsoever, that drags them to their grave, and people act fucking surprised about it.
Well, they're waking up, dude. The sheeple have bleeded.
Well, it's still going to take like 30, 40 years for something good to come of it, but
yeah,
this is the fact that these people ever got into business at all with these kinds of mindsets. That this is the kind of shit that's selling and making money. As a consumer, it's so fucking depressing.
Yeah. Well, as a consumer, I don't think really anybody is being catered towards as a consumer anymore in the AAA space.
No.
And that's really what
AAA is a buzzword. Basically, what AAA is, or AAA as it's better called, it's just a flag that says, "Don't buy this." You know, if people advertise something as AAA, you don't go near it, because that means they value marketing more than actual product.
I just don't understand the idea that,
I see somebody use that word non-ironically, it basically sells them out immediately as just being somebody you don't talk to.
See, the thing is, what really gets me about this is, if you just look at, like, this experience, right, and we haven't even actually played any of it for Mesk, so he doesn't really know the full details, but, like, this is what people are asking about when the next co-op commander is going to release, when the next map is going to come out. And they actually, this was so transparent that if you take a look at the mission list here, so you've got, let's see if I can find it here. Cradle of Death.
Mission names.
Cradle of Death was a mission that I did voice acting for Rock the Cabinet. And this is not the first place. The only one that they said that they were going to do is Part and Parcel, the first place one. That was the only one that they said that they were going to do is like whoever wins the contest first, they get the beautiful privilege. What? It actually deselects them. I can't even tell which one I have selected if I scroll down. That's amazing UI.
Flash, ladies and gentlemen.
They said that
2018.
Here you go. You get this. And yet they didn't just do part and parcel. They did the second place one, and I think they're doing the third place one at some point because I guess they don't have any ideas. That's what it feels like to me, transparent wise. Like they got nothing. It's like they can't even like do anything with this as a concept. Like, not necessarily that these fan-made missions, these hobbyist missions were bad in concept, but for Blizzard to literally one-to-one port them with the only changes made were to give the people worse voice actors. The guy who did the voice acting for Part and Parcel was pretty competent for the character that he was supposed to be, and they just replaced him with Davis, and she just sighs at you the entire time. It's like, why?
It's probably illegal. Like, that's the union thing.
Well, yeah, sure, but why would you use Davis? Like, yeah, I get it. Don't have a union actor. You can't do the job or whatever. I understand that. But why would you go through this sickening experience of placing one of your worst characters? And the second one is even worse because they used Stone, that ghost that had 5 lines in that Nova campaign. And he's your mission advisor, and he says my name. He says pro no go. And a line that they cut, even though they localized it. So, there you go. That's a great way to sign off.
Incredible.
Can you believe that I have a reference at StarCraft 2 before you do? That's crazy. You got one in Diablo 3, though. It's
I have a reference, a very strong reference in a game that's even worse than StarCraft.
Would you say that StarCraft 2 is actually better than Diablo 3? I feel like you're really comparing two shits, but...
I mean, they're both bad, but Diablo 3 is still that much worse.
Okay, well...
Like, Diablo 3 is honestly like one of the worst games that has ever been created that I know of.
Well, I still have yet to be convinced of that just yet. Worse. It seems like it's a strong contender, but...
You gotta go into Blizzard Activision's earlier roster to find worse, like Tongue of the Fat Man and stuff like Space AIDS and Bubsy 3D and stuff like that. Like, you gotta go to you gotta go into the void to find the absolute worst of the worst of the worst. But Diablo 3 was so much more destructive as a game than those.
You gotta check out Amon. Amon's
Diablo
Amazon
3 destroyed like so much and insulted so much. So it was worse in the sense of the impact it had.
Right.
Not as much as World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was more destructive in that regard. Nobody expected Diablo 3 to be good, but the fact he went from Diablo 2 to Diablo 3, it's like going from Castlevania Rondo of Blood to Castlevania Lords of Game Testing. Like it is just the fact that's the direction it took and that's the impact it had on an existing copyright is just insane.
Well, gear up because they're retconning Warcraft 3 to fit in with World of Warcraft lore.
Oh, they would.
With Reforged.
Given that World of Warcraft doesn't actually have lore, I imagine they're just going to change random names and events just to suit whatever fantasy they have at the time. It's just going to create an even bigger
mess.
World of Warcraft is already wildly inconsistent even with itself.
Well, I can't wait. I'm sure we'll do a run of that.
No, I am gonna run Warcraft 3 at some point, and it's gonna be a train.
Sounds exciting, dude. Count me in. Call me hand. Call me poop. I gotta go.
Call me dad.
Call me dad.
N.